Thank you very much, Shiva. Yeah, let's find out. Here's our second series of the day. Here on the main stream, we've got Liquid up against Tidebound. And yeah, let's see, because Tidebound's approach, I think, you know, an approach that is very Tidebound-esque, right? Other teams would not be picking Gyro here. They wouldn't be taking a Beastmaster to the mid lane.
Agreed.
It's different stuff.
I feel like it's what they did on day one, where they really destroyed with like the Shadow Fiend. You go together, you know, you just kind of take over the game very early on, because, you know, I mean, as they said, this is not a good Gyro game against what Liquid have, but it's very great for your heroes. Beast wants to play fast, Bad wants to play fast, and I will have to say, when Mr. Bach played Bad Rider against Gaimin Gladiators the other day, that was atrocious. So he wants to run it back. And I believe this time around, this is a very easy lane.
Oh yeah, that was the lane that fed quite a bit.
They fed like 8 times.
I remember. Yeah, that was a lot of feeding down
So
there.
they had some replay sessions.
Yep, no more feeding today.
Absolutely not. So let's have a look. But yeah, at the end of the day, if Mickey has a good game and he gets to like 2-3 items, he is carrying this game.
I think so, right. Yeah, they've got to really have a solution for shutting down this Terror Blade. 3 bounties to start with. Here for Tidebound. Yeah, the pressure absolutely has to be there on this bottom lane. But I guess that's the thing. Even if it is, Mickey is going to be able to hit creeps in the jungle eventually, the Terror Blade. And obviously for the lane itself, he's got that very nice Warlock ready to back him up, keep the lane easy with the heals that he can spam. Let's see what goes on mid. So people aren't really playing this anymore in the mid lane. Nothing to say wants to take it here today. Why do you think that is? What does it sort of do for them here?
I mean, mid-beast is very strong, especially against heroes that don't deal with the summons too well. Like Puck, he's low damage, he's not the highest armor, so I expect Nothing to Say to do very, very, very well in this mid lane. And to be fair, same down bottom. Like Bad Rider in this lane, they don't really pressure at all. So just faster tempo, and it's good against the Puck.
Now, what do you sort of make of the top lane? You know, is this a lane where Saberlight and Boxy can get kills against these two, or is it difficult with the combo?
There's definitely potential for them to do so, but I would say that the Tidebound lane is just a little bit stronger. Like, Gyro is very good against most range 4s, because they don't like being flagged. You do have to show yourself to like kind of hit each other, so there is potential, but I do give Tidebound the edge.
Well, Tidebound, can they get that advantage off these lane setups, as you say, as the heroes have the potential against what Liquid's got in this laning stage?
We'll have to see if Liquid get through this bottom lane very nicely or not, because there is a lot of pressure with the Bat, the Tiny. Once you get the Ava toss back, you're very strong.
And why? Some good spirits here. Harassing back the two of them. Maybe when, I mean, once the level 3s, like, do you even try and make a go as Liquid, or are you too scared of just Shiro and Y turning turning around and killing you off if you go?
You can look for goes, but probably around the cooldown of the Fire Spirits. The downtime is quite high, at least in the early game, so that's something you could look for. But I will say that I just really, really like the Phoenix pick, especially against Dawn. Like, oh, let's hold that for a moment. Just kidding, just some fake Avalanche. Like, when you play against Dawnbreaker, you know Dawn is going to ult to save the guy, but if you have enough stuff down that when Dawnbreaker drops in, it's just too hard to fight, it's really annoying for this hero, and Phoenix does just that. Like, you don't want to Dawn ult into an egg.
So far, mid matchup pretty much dead even. Between Nothing to Say and Nisha.
I feel like Nisha is doing some good things, because as I understand, Beast is supposed to win this lane.
Well, in terms of just being able to get easier denies in.
Yeah, you just like out CS with your boars, but it looks like Nisha is handling them very well. Even giving himself a bit more XP.
A very clean start from them so far in these first waves. And Nisha has been having quite some impressive performances so far at Wallachia. It's been a good tournament for him. And top lane, definitely continuing to be the tougher one, as we can see on the CS. Not an easy time for Saberlight to get the farm.
They are struggling, but at least against this lane, you will generally be able to farm under your tower, of course, because that is what Gyro does with his flag. Kind of pushes in the wave.
We'll see Planet starting to get some of those stacks at the ready. And ready to swing across here for the water rune. Anisha won't be able to grab the bottom one, but will have that top one safe for himself. And he's constantly pushing the wave in against, nothing to say. Nothing to say, not really able to early on get any pressure onto Nisha's tier 1. See, Bark is going to get bonded to the creeps here, so take quite a bit of damage. Mickey's able to clear up the camp here with the Metamorphosis. Planet not going to have the setup. Top lane. Nearly dying there to the blood grenade. Boxy able to hold back Shira to make sure those last few hits didn't come in. So it's going to have to be a walk back to base for Saberlight. Not having a fun time up here.
Let's see if Boxy can maybe hold the wave. I assume they will not allow him to do so in front of the tower.
And they're letting him.
Oh, they do.
Okay.
So doesn't hurt Saberlight too much, to be honest. Sure, has to walk back to base, but Boxy is just holding it for him. At least some of them. And the next wave is coming, so yeah, it's all okay for Liquid.
I'm going to try and make a go. See if they've got enough damage to burst through Shiro. Dive forward.
He's dead.
They got him. Nice read there from Box. He says, hey, you know what? We've got the setup, we've got the damage, and they have. Only just, but it is there.
Yeah, well, that is at least one of the downsides. They don't have any cancel for the Shackle. It's level 2. Maybe slightly underestimated how fast Saber would get back to base there. Of course, he's got the hammer, he's got the boots.
Can they go for another one?
Chicken fingers.
Dives on cooldown. Why is in trouble? They're going to get both of these kills.
Huge.
That is massive stuff there for Liquid's offlane duo.
Very nicely done. I mean, that's Boxy level 4.5, Tranquil Boots, and a full magic wand on the courier as well.
And not bad at all, again, considering that the CS situation wasn't great, wasn't having an easy time getting the creeps, but getting the kills, they got that sorted, Liquid.
Let's see, active rune coming up. Nothing to say, we'll grab that one.
Anisha still absolutely keeping up with nothing to say. They're trying to lead him with the avalanche. They got the roar.
Okay, toss is available also.
Yeah, there should be enough lockdown to kill off the puck. So bringing in the support backup, it's enough to make sure they can get Nisha out of the lane. Deal with the siege creep wave.
Very good kill for them. As it's already have a lot of stacks as well. I don't know how Boxy was able to destroy the top lane and already get the stacks up. Wisdom Shrine in 20.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Now, it doesn't look like it's going to be possible for them to try and go for any sort of steel Tidebound. Liquid, they should have this area covered.
Yep, everyone just kind of getting what they want. I mean, Mickey's net worth, though, very, very high. So, again, you've got this Bad Rider lane with very little pressure coming out, just playing for their own game with some stacks.
And that's definitely the thing with Liquid's lineup. It seems like it's going to be pretty set up to hold these early objectives, right? Turn up, clear waves, push waves back, hold tier 1s to ensure that for the most time possible, they keep this game going so that there's that much space on the map for Mickey to be able to clean up. The Terrorblade is going to be a big problem. Like Mickey gets to farm this game, the likelihood of him out-carrying Shira's Gyro feels pretty high.
Yeah, and currently they're not doing much to stop him, as Boxy does tank the tower from the left. Figures there's a ward, he wards that quickly. I mean, the way they pressure Mickey is by bringing Gyro through the gate, maybe later. But for now, there's going to be some active runes on the board. Y returns to favor with the D-ward.
They've got the grab, they get the Dream Coil, in fact, onto the 2 of them. There's a haste rune as well, picked up here by Nisha. So unlikely to be able to run from him. They kill off Y underneath the Dream Coil. Planet should be fine here by the safety of the tower and nothing to say. Easy little moves there for Liquid. Still pushing a Tidebound, maybe not getting as much as they'd hoped for out of these opening minutes.
Yeah, certainly not. And this is all of this stuff is happening currently without the Dawn ult. I mean, Saberlight not having the most XP as of now. Planet was camping the top lane earlier.
Liquid, they might get the grab on Bach. Mickey swinging over as well. Boxy is going to have his hands on him if he wants, but the Avalanche does put a stop to the Shaman for now. Planet tries to hold them back, but the Avalanche tosses. Not going to get Planet a kill, and if anything, it's just going to get him killed as well. As Liquid
easy double.
Chase him down. That's not a good sign for Tidebound. Right. If you're giving Mickey these kills, he's already having free farm to start this. He's getting double kills like this. Nearly 5k net worth at 9 minutes in.
Yeah.
This is a huge problem, Kez.
Yeah, you're not just giving kills to the strongest hero in the game, you're feeding kills around Warlock. He had 4 charges, he ate them up. Toby nearly level 7, he's got the Golem at the ready. So the next play you're fighting into on Tidebound, it's a Dawn ult into a Golem. It doesn't matter that there's no meta. They better be freaking careful about this fight right about now.
And Planet's CP'd in. I won't see him quite yet.
Yeah, this is a funny standoff for now.
They're going to try and lead in onto Mickey, but there's the Golem. Bonds drop down onto the 2 of them. Boxy coming in from the side. At the lasso, here's the Solar Guardian coming in from Saberlight. Tidebound have to run. Planet's going to get caught by the hammer. They'll bring Shiro in. And we'll be able to at least find the support kills as Boxy and Toby before, but the TP out is there just in time.
Pew pew. Well, 2 for 1. Honestly, them being able to kind of hold is quite good because that was the Dawn ulti used and the Warlock. As we watch our little friend walk all the way across. Pew!
Got him. Shiro. He wants to try and get back to the other side of the map. He's going to find Mickey. He's got the back foot wide. Toby's going to come in and help out as well. Mickey. That's a bit of an awkward Sunder. Doesn't give him a huge amount of HP, but the Shadow Word is healing him up. He should still die though. Bach and Y able to finish it off. Shiro will be able to find Toby and they'll survive. Shiro lives. Very, very good kills for Tidebound to get there around the Twin Gate.
Nicely done by Y to not give away a Sunder, but in the meantime, and kind of a saving grace for Liquid, Nisha and Boxy did end up killing Nothing to Say in the mid lane. Got the Amplify Damage rune. That's a lot of pressure on this mid tier 1.
Looks like they're going to get it as well, top. Why? Very low. But, I mean, Saberlight could try and snipe him with a hammer.
Well, forcing
can he snipe him?
He does have phase boot, so he might be able to catch up. No.
It's a bit too difficult now. Y's healing up as well. So, won't be able to have him hit.
This is the type of stage where you don't really want to allow this Phoenix to just sit here in the tower. Of course, it is one of the hero's strengths. Very good around these tier 1 areas. You've got the dive, you've got the spirits to protect yourself. And Shiro will come over to take over the job.
They might still try and fight this though. Pings are coming out. If Boxy can get the grab, maybe they can take Y down. So Y's not giving it to them. So we continue to get the stacks going here. 12-minute power in. It's going to be down bottom. So Nisha's going to be able to secure that. Jump room for him. Got the full boost of bearing now, ready to go on Bach.
I kind of like that. I prefer that over the Blink Dagger. Your entire draft wants to play fast. You want to get in there. You help your beast. You help your gyro.
Well, they're going to go with a smoke here, the 2 of them. See if they can try and use the Supernova to great effect here. Baiting with Shiro for now, but nobody from Liquid's heading up and no one's falling for this.
I mean, this is a good move. The best area to attack when you play against Dawn is the Dawnbreaker.
Yeah, Saberlight would be a very nice catch for Bach to find. Saberlight half HP under the tower, be an easy dive. Straight in they go. Saberlight's gone. TP's coming in, but it will be immediately cancelled. There's nothing more to be done up here, at least not on their own. They need to bring in multiple members, and they'll start to make that move. Smoke coming in from Liquid. Did start head towards top, but in fact sort of shifts towards the triangle. They won't find anyone up here though. As we can see, Tidebound are all up on the top side, so not going to get anything with the smoke unless someone TP's over to try and deal with Mickey, but doesn't look like to be the case from Tidebound, so Liquid not quite getting a kill.
At least they are setting up the map. It's just something we have seen in many other games, like the teams will only attack the area that the Dawnbreaker plays in. As Tidebound did also get to leave a very nice ward in the... Ooh.
Oh! They're going to find Bach down here.
Well, they sure do. Big kill.
Radiant's top tower.
I might be able to push on as well. 14-minute Wisdom Shrine is coming up, so okay, should be able to grab that. It doesn't look like Tidebound are making any efforts to TP over, so it will just be the swap. Tidebound should be able to grab Liquids.
Just a 1-for-1 trade, as both teams, I mean, they just have full control of the opponent's side.
Oh, a Roshan.
Yeah, saw this the other day as well. You just have
Yeah,
Serpent
nice
Ward.
and early one.
Yeah.
Well, Serpent Wars will do that, give you that opportunity to make such early plays. And ones that, yeah, Tidebound are just not going to account for at all. This is going to be a free Roche for Liquid. Tidebound not bringing the fight over it.
I mean, it's already hard to deal with Nisha as is, with the Golem behind the Dawn ult. Now there's an Aegis on top. Boxy will TP to the top tier 2, getting close to his blink. Well, Tidebound,
Nisha.
they are getting some timings of their own. The Ags on the Beast and the Blink on Planet soon, because they would like to do something.
They've got good team fight. They've got their ultimates. Like you said, the early items are done. But yeah, the Aegis definitely adding an extra level of complexity against Tidebound in terms of what Tidebound want to do with these timings. There's the Blink Dagger, so in return, Boxy also with his own, ready for the counterplay or the initiation if they do catch someone off on their own. Nisha very close to his as well. Making their way towards top. Shira's already out of there. Maybe Nisha ends up catching Y on the escape. No, Y's out with the TP before Nisha swings by. And Shira ready to shift down towards the bottom lane. Knows that this sort of pressure is likely to be coming in from Liquid top.
Let's see if Liquid want to take a fight around this, or if they'll just give it up. Bak wants to go for a Crimson Guard. Okay, so not looking for much more initiation, instead looking for the tankability against the TP, against the Dawn. I can see that. You do have the tiny blink to work with.
Is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Oh, they just go for the trade. They are going to smoke again, the Tidebound, with this Blink Dagger on Planet.
Dire's
Maybe they find Mickey alone. It'll be a huge catch to find if they catch him in time, Mickey. We'll clear the camp, Planet. Is he going to get his hands on him? He's in with the Avalanche, but the Solar Guardian comes in. They'll use the Roar as well, and the Toss trying to kill Mickey. Now the Supernova,
Oh, he got the
back
Sunder.
on the full HP, the Lasso, locking him down. They're going to try and hit the egg, but the Supernova will be a success. Why? Succeeds with the egg, and they're ready to clean them up now, Tidebound. They take out the 3 of them. Nisha has to jump back under the tier 2. The team fight coming together, and definitely we're seeing that power of the egg, as you mentioned. You know, you're in this position, you're able to get the Supernova. Solar Guardian's coming in, but then it gets all kind of awkward. Because they've set up the fight. They were, well, I think, literally one hit away from killing it. It was close, but it was enough. Y gets it off.
I cannot believe that egg went off. He must have clutched everyone with the Fire Spirits and maybe got lucky on 1 or 2 misses. Because that looked... Mickey even got the Sunder off and everything.
middle tower.
Big fight from Tidebound.
Huge. Suddenly
4K lead off that. Very nicely played there.
Let's look at that again.
And they got more than they went fishing for. You know, they were just looking for a Mickey kill. They actually end up getting so much more off the back of that team fight. A Sableye in, but indeed, watch White. Gets the egg off. They're just not able to get the hits in Sableye's attack speed slowed. Toby's is slowed as well. Yeah, they just couldn't get the job done. Couldn't take the egg out. Fantastic fight for Tidebound.
Well, Phoenix is one hell of a hero if you get all your spells off like this.
Planet.
Toss back.
He's ready to find another. Gets the toss back on Toby.
Just a freebie.
As a dead Warlock. Tidebound filling in their element now that they've managed to really get the ball rolling after that last play.
Nothing to say. He found the Roar up top on Boxy.
It's going to be another one. Liquid. They've got to gather themselves together, starting to let some freebies go the way of Tidebound. Also, whilst this is going on, in the mid,
He does have Crimson.
he's pretty tanky. And the Dream Core put to an end, he can just get out of this. So that's a Coil and a Solar Guardian. It's not even getting them a kill.
Yeah, he's just being chilling.
Nisha, only 30 seconds left on the Aegis, so unlikely that Liquid's going to be able to push on for more with that. And with those last few seconds. Shira. It's kind of low down here, but it's a bit of a bait because backup's in. The heals are coming in from Y.
They've got a rocket on him.
Can they even get him the once? He's able to dodge the rocket with the phase shift. Jumps back in trying to burst through Y, but they're relatively tanky now on Tidebound. Another phase shift dodge into a blink will get him out of the avalanche. Bark. I mean, the Aegis has now expired. The silence will stop Bark from being able to get the initial lasso off. Nisha has to use the Dream Coil to try and stop Bark from getting the lasso, but the flame break into lasso still there. Bark still able to get the job done despite Nisha's best efforts.
Quite huge, instantly killing the puck after the Aegis expired.
Nah, things are really looking up now for Tidebound. Now we talked about sort of, Mickey's potential to carry. If this continues, it might be all on Mickey to try and carry this, because elsewhere things are starting to fall apart a little bit for Liquid.
It could be. It's not too easy for them to like fight into the egg, the Sunray, and especially also this Crimson. Might need another round of items here on Liquid.
Planet. Oh, they got the roar on Toby. It is pretty deep. Solar Guardians coming in. Can they turn this one around, Liquid? They're going to lose Toby. They've dropped the Serpent Wards here, but Saberlight and Boxy, they're dying so quickly. Now the egg's out. They've got to back away. Mickey's trying to hit the egg.
I don't think so.
Can they kill it? They can't. Another Supernova success here for Y, as 4 dead on Liquid. They just can't deal with the Super. Again, it's one hit off, but Tidebound, they're doing it perfectly. The way they set up, force these fights, bait Liquid in. Liquid get tempted every single time to try and do it, but each time, one hit away, Y gets it off. And it's another massive win for Tidebound.
No, it's a 10k lead. Even if that egg dies, they're all getting team wiped on Liquid. And those are the great type of eggs. The ones where you're like, can we kill it, can we not? You man up, and you just can't. And even before that, it's not just the egg, the level 4 Sunray on the beast going in. Planet.
He's able to grab it. Shrine of Wisdom for him. See if he can get out of this. Probably not. Well,
no.
No. Nah.
Surely not.
Yep. They got it. But he got the Shrine of Wisdom, so he doesn't care. He got what he wanted.
Looks like it's Torment time for Tidebound.
Yeah, let's catch this again. Just another fight that, again, it looked pretty deep. You know, nothing to say. He's charging in with this roar.
Yeah.
So obviously Liquid, they have Mickey on the high ground. They're like, you know what, we could try and take this. The Serpent Wards are down. But yeah, they couldn't deal with the egg, and as you say, even if they did, this fight's already over. Saberlight taking far too much damage. They get the beautiful kind of avalanche again from Planet onto Mickey. And then just into the Supernova stun means that Mickey doesn't get a chance to get the Sunder off, so can't even bring anyone down with him. Tidebound survive on all fronts.
This is definitely a bit of a problem. Liquid have a hard time fighting into this Tidebound draft at the moment.
Dream Coil, but...
Dawn ultimate.
See if they can get Bark. Again, it takes quite a bit to bring him down.
They got him this time.
This time they do. They will find a kill.
Very, very needed kill.
Well, Liquid cannot afford for another team fight to go the way that they have been. Nothing to say. Already back on the hunt here, ready to look for action with the Roar.
Very high chance that Liquid are talking about BKBs, an absolute necessity against this dire draft.
Nothing to say. Finds the perfect one.
Gone.
Absolutely terrifying now, this Beastmaster charging across the map. He is massive on the Beast top net worth. Level 18 now. It's 23 minutes in.
Well, Liquid will just have to play the map for a while. It is at least one of the strengths of your TB and the puck. Need to try to get some items.
Now they'll just drop some Serpent Wards here to cut a creep wave or so.
It's the best thing they can do.
Yeah.
I also like that Boxy is lingering for now, because there's nothing they can do on the map right now. You want your TB to get some gold, you want your puck to just farm away, maybe get to his Lincolns so they can be more of a threat. Need to delay.
They do still have the... Okay, now the creep wave here gets wiped out by the south. They won't be able to push on to the tier 2 bottom.
Boxy has had enough of the Supernova, bought drums. one of the OG counters. If you don't have a good lineup to kill the egg, you might as well buy Boots of Bearing or Drums.
Yeah, because I wondered as well if this would be a game for the Dawn. Obviously, I think what we do see Solar Guardian, Solar Charge being taken every time the cooldown one. But you do have the other one, right, where you give your team attack speeds. Could there have been an argument for that this game, or is the Solar Charge just that good?
I mean, the Solar Charge is generally just better. Like, the cooldown is... It's quite OP, like, lower cooldown just as a concept. But maybe, you know, maybe there's like someone else goes Drums, you do that, and the egg will just die every time. Yeah,
because I haven't checked, but is it pretty much all Dawn Breakers take Solar Charge? Is that the only one they play with?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It is just straight up better.
Yeah.
Let's see, they are going for cross smoke. Cross map smoke. Mickey with the shard, of course, super fast. They did see Toby run through their observer.
Oh. Nisha.
He blinked into the wrong neighborhood, I believe.
See if he can get his way out of this. He's going to have 4 heroes hot on the chase for him.
Oh, good blink.
Bark. Can he close in on this? Oh, he might get him.
Yep.
He's got him. Bark finding some very nice lassos this game. And on tricky targets as well, a couple of times back to back onto the park. He's had Nisha's number.
Yep, really like his build too. The Bearing, the Crimson, into the Blink. We've got a double catch by Planet 2 with his own Blink Yules. I mean, Bark even going for the pipe. I mean, their draft is more about enabling each other and themselves. With like, you help everyone go in because it's what all of the heroes want to do. You take the fight this second, Roche. Liquid will not contest this. They need more time. Need more breathing space on the map.
And how much is Tidebound going to look for with this Aegis?
They definitely want to close down the map with this one. Maybe all the tier 2s, the enemy outpost. We might have a high ground poke. I mean, they do have okay high ground. You can Sunray the Gyro who goes up there. You've got a potential tossback or lasso. But tier 2s will be the first task.
We see that as well with the state of the game. Obviously, Mickey prioritizes the BKB a little earlier, so he does have the BKB on top of the Manta now, so knows that they are going to be forced into these situations where he's going to have to fight. And maybe with the BKB as well, we'll give him a chance to get rid of some of those attack speed debuffs and actually have a chance of taking down the Supernova. Satanic online for Shiro on top of that Aegis. He's going to be a tough one to take down.
He's really hard. I don't think they can deal with him twice. Fresh BKB, fresh Satanic, and an Aegis? No way. Which means for now... Oh, Liquid. Are they looking to fight back? They are lingering around mid. Wonder if they're looking for a smoke. Oh, Nisha.
Fine, has got the catch. And there's the lasso once again. Nisha's in trouble. Oh, get the phase shift off. Can he get away from them? Yules is there. Nothing more to allow him to jump out. That's Nisha gone for 50 seconds. Tidebound, they can get the waves pushed in mid. They're going to try for the setup. He's pretty tanky here on the Beast. They don't even get anywhere close to killing him. The Roar into the Supernovas there. Avalanche onto the two of them on top of it all. Boxy and Saberlight dead. And nothing to say, not even close to dead. They barely touched him.
Yeah, I believe those two heroes just can't kill him. That's a 3,400 HP.
Yeah, I mean,
Master.
For as close of a start that this game had, this has really turned into one where Liquid, they've been scrambling. They're starting to look kind of helpless.
Yeah. And Tidebound, they're only... I mean, this is definitely high ground time now. We've got the Sunray to back it up, the Solar Crest as well. Boots of Bearing Crimson.
Planet's going to be ready with the jump if anyone shows.
Which means Liquid, how do you respond?
What do they do?
They are cutting the next wave with the Golem, but you have to deal with this one.
Yeah, they're going to have to get Mickey involved soon, you'd imagine.
They will be fine, because the next wave did die, which means Tidebound might have to go down bottom.
Well, we'll see backdoor protection kick in a second.
Let's see, does Saberlight give his life to kill this next wave before they can come? Doesn't look like it, which means Tidebound will just have to take the longer road into the high ground.
Which they don't mind. Still 2.5 minutes on the Aegis.
This is awkward though for Saberlight, because the only way for him to return to this next fight is with his ultimate. Does not have a TP available.
Back on with the mid push.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Looks like Mickey did swap up his item build. He had a...
Oh, and there's the grab back. Catches Boxy.
Uh-oh.
That's one down. Sweep over towards the bottom. Liquid, what are they going to do?
Oh, Mickey swapped his build from a Skadi to a Revenant's Brooch because he ain't got time to buy the Skadi.
I was going to say, he has to get whatever he can get online ASAP to be able to try and turn up and push back Team Tidebound. And here we go, Metamorphosis pop, they're in with the Dream Core. Solar Guardian ready to go as well. Shiro moving in with the BKB. Mickey's got the BKB ready to press in turn. Light at the front of the fight, taking a heavy hit. The Supernova this time, they'll be able to kill it. They kill off the egg. Mickey, Sunder, back up to pretty much full HP, can turn to nothing to say, kill off the beast, and now look towards Shiro. Sableye coming in with the control. Shiro falling very low. They'll kill him the once. Can they do it a second time, Liquid? Okay. Get him with the slow.
Back. Boxy's here.
And he's got the grab. The shackles are there. Shiro will fall. Liquid will hold. As Mickey able to do the damage. As you said, itemization perfect from him in terms of the timing. They needed him online right now, no later. So BKB into the Revenants gives him the maximum output and impact in this sort of fight. Turns up, they hold the defense.
Very, very clutch from Liquid. If you drop that Rax without a fight, I don't see how you can come back.
They needed that fight badly, and they get it, Liquid.
So we'll see it here again. The great initiation with the coil into the Dawn ult to back it all up.
And as a start, in terms of these sort of targets Mickey's going for, he's able to push back, nothing to say. They turn straight towards the egg. And once that Sunder goes off, there's just no way they're killing off a second time. Back in action, Planet. He's been caught.
Uh-oh. Careful here, my Tidebound Bears. Because you're still up, but we've talked about it before. This Mickey TB in this game, he's still got room to grow.
Yeah, he's set to carry. It's not in a bad spot at all. It's not an easy spot, but not a terrible one. He's top net worth after that last defense.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Y might have to rethink his egg placement a little bit now that there's drums available, higher levels, more attack speed, and the BKB, of course, on Mickey. Might want to designate one of the roars onto the TB during his BKB, as Nothing to Say is working on a refresher.
Well, Tidebound, where do they want to go from here? Planet's back in the game. Shiro wants to try and go for this butterfly next. Obviously, once that's there, it'll definitely have a bit of a better chance of surviving as the Terrorblade, but the overall damage output when the Metamorphosis is up is still pretty terrifying for the Gyro. Mickey can just hit that much harder from that much safer of a distance as the Terrorblade.
Let's see, what do Tidebound want to do here? So Torm first. As Shiro will split his Chrysalis to get the butterfly.
Dire's bottom tower.
Shard for the bat. No more stack limit and some building damage.
We'll get the tower on the bottom lane there. Boxy dropping the wards to finish that one off. So tier 2 to fall.
I must say, I would have preferred the Daedalus over the Butterfly. I think that Tidebound have a lot of defensive capabilities already. With the Pipe, the Crimson, the Sunray.
Yeah, it feels hard to kill the Terrorblade.
Yeah, Tidebound, they have the type of draft where the moment they lose one hero, their entire team fight kind of crumbles. So they kind of need to just make sure to use all the defensiveness to also be able to kill what Liquid have. Oh, very big items coming out for everybody. Refresher, Skadi, Butterfly.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Gem on Nisha. I do like that pickup. As currently Tidebound have 0 wards on the map. They do have 1 on Y at the moment. Liquid.
Let's jump. Solar Guardian comes in straight away in response. They're trying to burst through the Phoenix. Can they kill him in time? The egg's out. Can they kill the egg? They're looking looking to kill him with the roars there. Out onto Mickey. The egg will die, though. They get the last hit just in time. Mickey, Sunder back up to full HP as he takes the health of Planet. They'll kill off the Tiny. Bark has the lasso controlling Mickey for now, but Mickey, can they actually bring this Terrorblade down? The BKB's out from Mickey. He turns now over towards Shiro. Shiro trying to stand his ground against Mickey. Shiro will get hexed up, though. The Starbreaker comes in. Shiro will fall, but Mickey does go down. Nisha, face shifts there. Coming back in with the shackles. Boxy has the grab into the hex. They catch out.
Oh,
the two of them at the end of it all as Liquid get the team wipe.
What a crazy fight. That egg, I think it barely died this time around.
It was so close.
Nothing to say. Instantly refreshed his roar to get a second one onto Mickey, but it was not enough. I mean, that's a perfect jump from Liquid. Why barely got the egg off to even begin with?
Yeah, Mickey, even though they kill him, it's still just a bit too much at this point. This Terrorblade doing the damage to bring Shiro down to a point that even though the Mickey dies, Shiro can get cleaned up at the end of it. And that lead that they had just getting completely taken away from them now, Tidebound. Back to pretty much dead even on the net worth difference.
Well, that puts Liquid ahead in my book. Their scaling with their heroes it's just better and stronger than Tidebound.
Yeah, Tidebound needed to maintain that advantage.
And any fight that Liquid can start is good for them, because Tidebound, they really rely on this roar into egg or like a lasso into the entire team type of play. If they don't get this, if there's any chaos, it will always benefit Liquid. That's a full Abyssal onto Saberlight. With a smoke into a amplify damage rune. Well, that's just the third Roche.
Yep, they'll go straight for it. Tidebound. The fight's getting tougher and tougher. Is Shiro going to just be able to provide enough firepower to tackle Team Liquid in the team fights? It's seeming harder and harder, especially with some of the items that are going to be flying out soon here. And Mickey ready to look towards the MKB next. We're seeing as well Boxy also very close to being able to treat himself to a BKB. Already been able to work wonders in these fights with the hexes and shackles. Now it's going to be pretty much impossible to stop him from getting them off every time.
Yeah, once Boxy has a BKB, if they want to stop him, they have to use one of their lassos or roars, which they desperately need to defend the egg.
Yeah, they had, as we saw last fight, they were pretty much saving those exclusively for Mickey, which got them the kill, but if everything's being thrown on the Terrorblade at this point, the rest of Liquid get to play the fight pretty freely. So a lot of problems now for Tidebound. Can they somehow set up one of those fights like they had earlier where Y gets this chance to succeed with the Supernovas? It's looking harder and harder. That's Liquid. I've got the luxury of this next 3 minutes of Aegis, and I think, yeah, overall they're not going to feel too hasty here, Liquid. They know they can sort of just let Mickey chill and get his next item, get that MKB.
Yeah, they might be trying to get closer to their 25 talents, the MKB you just mentioned. All three of their cores starting to kind of close in.
Tidebound. I mean, what's the call from their side? Is it just sort of wait out this Aegis?
I don't know if they can. They need a fight where they start with lasso and drag the guy in. Maybe you could even try to do it onto the TB if the positioning is good.
See, Mickey is sort of baiting at the moment.
They want to camp their observer by the looks of it for now on Tidebound.
I've got eyes on Shiro. Lotus stop.
I don't know if Liquid will bite on this. They might just want to look through bottom because the wave is pushing.
Nisha.
Well, if Liquid go here, they do feel very strong because otherwise they could just go bottom, drop the wards and force Tidebound to retreat from their area into the control of Liquid.
Looks like they'll do that for now. Mickey bringing in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Liquid will not bite. And they have full control of the way over.
Tower is under attack.
Tidebound. What's the move? Serpent was dropped it from Liquid. It's tier 3 taken out.
Just a tier 3 for now. Let's see if Liquid maybe use this time to deward the area that Tidebound was lingering in earlier. Nisha is absolutely on the case.
More back.
Oh, that's the axe
They'll
pull.
get the double lasso. They've got follow-up. The Avalanche is there, but the Solar Guardian's coming in. Poxy's having to get the BKB off.
Oh my God.
The bonds. The Golem slammed down onto the three of them. Mickey's ready to turn up. Looking at what's nothing to say. Nothing to tell. Put the refresh. The Supernova goes on successfully this time. The second Raw. Enough to bring Mickey down the once. Can they take Mickey out a second time? Nisha poking at the backline. Still has his eyes on Planets. Very low at the moment on the Tiny. Nisha doesn't feel confident enough to jump back into the 5 of them. Tidebound. They deal with the Aegis, and they are able to kill off Saberlight. They don't lose anyone themselves, Tidebound. Despite the fact they kind of get caught in with like a 3-man, 4-man Bonds Golem, they survive through it this time, and the Supernova is back to going off successfully.
I mean, what a goated jump by Bach there. Grabbing 2 heroes into the Egg Avalanche combo. I mean, this is picture-perfect teamfight for Tidebound. It doesn't get better than that.
Now Tidebound has shown that they can do that, and the Aegis has gone on Mickey. They can maybe look to just get back out on the map as soon as those ults are back online. Obviously, they did have to use this. As I said, the both Roars there for nothing to say with the refresher.
Well, they do have the Agnum's plus 25 talent now on Nisha. So big power spike for him.
Shira's got the Daedalus, so now going to start be kicking out quite the damage here with that and the Butterfly. Nisha and Boxy.
Both here.
Probably not going to want to do anything here. I mean, there's no Solar Guardian still for 10 seconds with the Dawnbreaker dead. They want to ideally wait for at least the respawn of Saberlight before they make this sort of move. And they won't get the chance to. Tidebound, they back off. And Mickey might just want to get his Satanic done before Liquid look for another fight.
Yeah, won't take him too long. We'll probably have to drop the treads for that one.
We're going to try for the smoke, Liquid. Not going to be shaken up too much about how that last fight went. They know that if they can still get the jump themselves, deal with the presence of the Phoenix and the Supernova, the fight should still be in their favor. It does rely on them getting the initiation, though. As otherwise, Bach, if he's able to get a 2-man lasso like that again, our Supernova is going to come down so quickly by it.
See, they will get the Wisdom Shrine. Help Boxy out with another bit of XP. This shackle better get cancelled. Because it lasts for an eternity. 5.7 seconds.
Tidebound barely stepping away from one another, ensuring that at all possible moments they're ready as a unit. Leaving no chance for Liquid to get any kind of pick-off. If the fight kicks off, it will be a 5v5. And they just have to be so wary of the bat.
Looks like we've got lots of refreshers queued up. Even Shiro wants one for the double BKB in the fight.
Should get themselves a Tormentor here. Tidebound up top. And TPing straight over to the mid. Liquid, though, they're not going to be pushing up to the high ground yet. Still ready to just hold the lanes in. It's going to come close to finding out when the Roshan's back in. What's the Satanic done now for Mickey indeed? Getting rid of the treads to get that in.
Well, for me, I've got my eyes on Bach. If he gets another one of those pulls. I mean, he is also kind of the X factor when it comes to killing Nisha, because Nisha has a Linken's, but if he gets grabbed off of someone else from the Aghanims, could be in trouble.
Tidebound wanting to try and find the smoke play before Roshan respawns. Try and get a hit against Liquid.
Dire are scanning.
That's Toby. Oh,
L-cell for Toby.
the mini Astral, not quite enough.
Oh.
I hear a BKB.
BKB's gone off here. Boxy, he was thinking about committing to try and get the grab onto Planet, but has to back off with the BKB. They don't want to take a fight 4 versus 5, Liquid, that's for sure.
Okay, Warlock is down, no buyback, and no BKB on Rasta.
Dire's bottom barracks
Roshan, just about to spawn. Tidebound, they'll grab the tier 2 top. It's the final tier 2 that Liquid had standing. So both side lanes now open for the taking. They'll get the tower. And Liquid, they're going for this sort of sneaky Roche play. They've moved straight over to the Roshan.
They
do
hear it.
I mean, they do it very quickly. So Tidebound's coming over, but Liquid, they should have this done in time. The question is if they can actually get out. As Aegis...
He has no TP.
Oh. Okay, yeah, Mickey's going to be forced to fight by the looks of it. He's in the pit, pots the meta. They've got to try and fight their way out of this one. Look at Nothing to Say. The Solar Guardian comes in. Nothing to Say will fall. Supernova will be a success. They're trying to heal up here. Shiro here on the Gyro with the Satanic. And Mickey's still standing strong. The bonds are in. Bark's getting slowed up by the Skadi. He's dead. They're buying back the mass buybacks on Tidebound, but they can't turn this fight. They have to run. As that was 2 buybacks there being used by both sides, but the bigger ones coming out from Tidebound, that being their mid and their off lane, and they still lose the fight, Tidebound.
Aye, Liquid, they're just clutching. Taking the Roche. Also, Nisha threw his Linken's on Mickey right before the first roar popped. That fight could have been so different.
And they've come out of that with the Aegis still intact on Nisha, so they can keep going now, Liquid. A big move there to go straight out, just avoid the fact that Tidebound were pushing in towards the top, get this Roshan. And now they're ready to start forcing the high ground, see what they can get done here, Liquid. 50 seconds, no Shiro. Does have the buyback available. We'll see how much he's happy to sort of sit back and let happen to the base. There's Nisha on the way to getting the full nullifier sent out. Will likely be happy to spend up now that he's got the safety of that Aegis. Fortification comes into play, still 30 seconds, no Shiro. Mickey. He's got BKB back up in 15 seconds. For now, though, Nisha, he's going to be able to finish off the racks himself. It's the full bottom set here, taken by Liquid.
Very nice position for them. Wow. Also, the full nullifier, like you mentioned, on the puck. And Nisha, he's an absolute monster now also. It's not just Mickey. I like Shiro's quick buy. He does finish the Swift Blink, but Rapier is on the deck.
He's ready to, I mean, these fights, right, he sort of just has to get straight in on top of Mickey and hope that he has the damage to threaten the Terrorblade before Mickey can get his Sunders off and heal up himself with the Satanic. They have to kill this Terrorblade. There's Liquid ready to push in now.
Let's see, do they want to go top? That's a banner with a double siege creep.
Shiro is going to jump in to try and kill up the banner. They'll go straight for him. The Avalanche does clip on Anisha and Mickey. Anisha jumps out.
Okay, looks like that's all for now. Both sides, of course, or at least Tidebound see nearly everything outside of the base with this Observer.
Tidebound. I think it very much is that Rapier timing. That's what's going to give them the capability of bringing themselves back in on this one. This game's only got harder and harder since Liquid pulled together that very successful defense down bottom. After that, it's pretty much all looked up for Liquid.
Liquid might have something cooking. I saw Boxy pinging the bottom lane.
Shiro was trying to get that Rapier picked up, but the courier gets sniped. They have to go for this smoke plate to just buy the Rapier. They're smoking up as a team. Shiro's going to show himself on the wave. Saberlight is close by.
Mickey's TPing.
See if he wants to buy the Rapier and fight. He does. Rapier's picked up. They've got the opening stun. The shackles are there, though. They have to try and free him. They'll be able to do so. Lotus Assault comes in. The BKB's out. Supernova to the side. He's healing up Shiro. They're keeping the Gyro alive. Double kill for Shiro. The shopping trip, a grand success for this Gyro. As Liquid will be forced back. The perfect outing there from Tidebound.
It's a very, very nice debut there of the Rapier. Yeah.
Look at that.
11,000 damage.
Excellent move. And anything less, and this game would be an absolute shambles. But with that play, Tidebound back with the chance.
Back to even. And I mean, they're going to be forcing out some buybacks here.
They certainly will be.
2 of them don't even have. So this is a 3v5 at best for Liquid.
2 buybacks. Saberlight and Mickey.
Mickey doesn't have meta. He's half the hero.
They're ready to get onto the tier 4s. Can they stop this Gyro? He's taken their base. Shiro. He's got a lot of backup. Wise ready with the heals, with the Lotuses. They'll jump in, get the silence onto the 3 of them. The creeps are up. They'll be able to heal up. They get the toss back onto Mickey. Mickey's in trouble. The backup comes from the Solar Guardian, but the lasso's there, locking him down. The Supernova again is going to be a great success. Mickey tries to sunder and run, but the Supernova stone catches him. He's out for good. A dieback on Mickey. They do get the creep, so backdoor protection has kicked back in.
Oh, Nisha.
He's going to try and grab the next creep wave as well.
They glyph this wave.
He's still going to be able to kill it. So Nisha making sure that Tidebound can't quite go for the game, despite the fact that the Terrorblade dead for 110 seconds. Where's their nearest creeps? Is it, what, top wave?
They're running down
they've
mid.
still got a wave mid, actually.
Yeah, the mid wave is coming.
Nisha wasn't able to grab it all, so the backdoor protection is going to get taken out again. They're going to try and have to hold 4 versus 5 here. Liquid. Can they stop Shiro from ending the game? The fortification's there. Such a long time without Mickey. Saberlight, he jumps in, he's going to get caught by the roar and the avalanche. The Sombra damage coming in as well. Saberlight's just dead. He's out. This game, it's absolutely over. They're on to the ancient Tidebound. They'll close it up in style.
What a crazy game. So much back and forth. Liquid clutching it out like once or twice to bring the game back, get the advantage. And then Tidebound off of the back of a Rapier and what, like count.
Thank you very much, GBS. Game 2 time here between Tidebound and Liquid. And indeed, Liquid getting some strong stuff this time around. The TA and that Saberlight axe that they do love to fall back upon.
Yeah.
And when they can, they get that as that first pick. Tidebound, do you think, are they going to be able to deal with them again? 2-0 here, or you kind of favor Liquid's chances with this one?
I'm not. I mean, I like Tidebound's draft.
Yeah.
I mean, I like both drafts. They've got a lot of good things going for themselves, but again, I'm a huge fan of Phoenix myself. I would consider this to be a very good Phoenix game. Once again, you've got lots of people going in. Sure, you have the axe against the Bristle, you can turn him, but you've got Beast, Quap, Bristle running in, again with a high-level Sunray. I mean, I like what I'm seeing, Owen. I can't go against the Phoenix.
Let's see what Planet can do with it in his hands this time.
The battle begins.
Not going to find any action here. Mickey, not going to risk his life. That's the 2 for 2. And you feel this? Oh, still want to try and mess with him getting to the tower.
Seems to be okay. Toby is pressing the TP.
Yeah, I won't be able to mess with him here. And overall, do you like sort of this sort of tempo that Tidebound are going to be able to try and look towards with their cores when you do run this Bristle as the carry?
Yeah, I would say so, because what... hold on, Shiro.
And the Quills are going to stack up quite a bit.
Winning?
He gets first blood. He will die. But as we see there, Tidebound do get the first blood themselves.
Well, at least Saberlight gets the kill. He always goes for the Urn build, so he's already got a bit of build-up. But what TA hates are heroes that get on top of you. And, I mean, Tidebound have a lot of that. Bristle runs at you. Phoenix Egg is not something you like dealing with on the TA. And Quap also. So, while it is one of Liquid's best heroes, Tidebound have tools against it.
So bottom, the brawling continues. Sablelight's got the stick charges this time, so we'll be fine despite the quills flying out from Shiro.
I like the Bane against the Axe. I mean, if you've watched any Liquid games, you know that Saberlight might just bust it out. But Bane, fairly okay in the lane. Of course, you have the Brain Sap against the Battle Hunger to like trade through it. You've got the Sleep against the Cut.
We're going to get the catch onto him with the Brambles, but it's not enough for Saberlight to continue chasing. Wants to make sure he doesn't miss out on the CS. And still as it is, White taking a lot of damage there as he gets harassed back out of the lane. Mid lane. So far, Nisha getting quite a few denies in against Nothing to Say's co-op. Nothing to Say very low. Does have the bottle on its way out, at the least. Nisha.
At least for now, seems kind of even. They both just freshly got their bottle. Planet did sneak the top water rune.
Should be both in a pretty good position with the charges they've got on their bottles. But definitely a lane where we could see a kill. Both are very much dancing with death.
Well, Nothing to Say should slowly win this lane over time, especially if something else happens on the 4-minute water rune.
On top lane, I mean, how difficult did this lane get for McKay against a Beast and Phoenix?
It's okay for now, but it does... I think it's already at a point where it's not super easy, because Tidebound had very nice XP management. They let Bak get level 3 on the Beast very quickly. But I think McKay should be okay up there.
I've got to be careful with that level 4 being hit now. Just in case he does want to go for a play, Nothing to Say. Nisha. We'll be able to dodge the Remnant there. And we'll start to clarity up so he can continue this dagger spam.
Nisha has to respect this a little bit.
He's going to be able to get another dagger in. Same time down bottom, Saberlight. It's going to be fine. And mid completely out of mana now. See bottom. They can continue to chase out Boxy here with the quills stacking up.
Shiro, Lotus.
He's going to have him. Saberlight trying to get wide, but the Nightmare's there. And Saberlight will not be able to stay on top of this Bane, so Y will live. Still in the mid, the pressure continues, and this time it's going to be surely too much for Nisha, especially with Planet diving forward. They take Nisha out.
Boxy. Planet with some good moves. Wise here, drops a ward.
And Y does have 13-1 charges.
We'll have to pop those. Plays it cool.
So if they're able to sort of get the chance to get Nisha again before he gets the level 6, definitely, you know, having that first chance to take him down bottom. Shiro only just surviving, but not in great shape.
Yeah, didn't quite die, but low HP with bad lane control. Do have a pull to deal with, so that is very, very important.
Yeah, he's going to salve on his way out as well. On top, so far no signs of Mikke being slowed down. Having just as fine a time as Shiro is down bottom. And keeping the pressure on against Spark. That's a close start again. I mean, we saw last game how evenly matched the teams were at the opening. We're getting that sort of outcome for the lanes again here.
They did get level 3 on Planet. They're not just moving him, they're also moving the little summons from Bak into the mid lane to fortify this active rune play as much as possible. It's a big deal. Nothing to Say. He's level 6. They have a ward behind, heroes behind, summons behind, and a siege creep. Doesn't get much better than this. Oh.
Straight in.
Hello, brother.
They're going to be able to punish Nisha once more before he hits the 6. Tidebound, good focus around this mid lane, making sure Nisha does not get an easy start to this one.
Hey, that's a very, very nice play. And this is all set up from the very start, even in the draft. You get the counter pick, you play towards it, you bring the Phoenix, you're bringing him again. Very nice stuff.
Nisha, once he's back up, imagine he'll just try and find a 6 from the jungle. That mid lane getting a little too spooky to show up at.
Absolutely will have to, as Toby is currently taking over the mid lane. Tower didn't fall, so that's a good sign for Liquid. They take a lot of damage.
Just not a safe place for pretty much any of Liquid to go right now, with the good levels coming in so far. For nothing to say. Why? He's got the Nightmare. Toby was going to TP, actually just cancels it, realizes they're not really going to have the chance of chasing the Bane.
Yeah, it's good to cancel. He just needs to continue to hold the mid tower, get some experience for himself. Still chasing. Boxy is running over, so they do have some brambles.
And they got Nightmare in a second, though. Nothing to say is ready to help out. The dagger's in on a Saberlight as the self-Nightmare buying a bit of safety for White, but he will still end up going down. The question is though, can the three of them get out of it? Because nothing to say, he's looking towards Saberlight. Saberlight will die for this. I mean, nothing to say, he'll be happy with that trade anytime. He doesn't mind losing a Bane there.
Yep, didn't even lose any HP, had the shield rune. In the meantime, Planet did also take the mid lane. At least for Toby, he got another charge on his Grimoire, so that should help them later if they want to go for a little sneaky play.
We're looking for the 8-minute power rune. Planet just going to try and mess around with Nisha. It's going to end up being down on the bottom. You see White has to end up taking it as Boxy was on the verge of getting the steal for himself. Boxy might die for this. Yeah, he will. Sonic Wave comes in.
Oh,
that's Boxy gone.
Nisha tried for the deny. Couldn't quite sneak it in.
This area just proven to be deadly, this mid area for Liquid. Anytime they turn up, it's just giving more and more kills for nothing to say to find himself involved in 3-0-1 so far, and it hasn't really had to leave the lane that much.
They're just continuing to play through their strong hero in the Queen of Pain. He's looking for an Orchid. I like that this time around. I mean, you're already investing so much to own the Storm, so you might as well just continue investing into keeping it that way.
Nisha, once more, just having to stay away from that lane. In terms of fire, Mickey's still having a decent time up top, but also having to fall back to the jungle a little bit now with the strength for the Beastmaster coming in with the pressure.
Yeah, especially with the Dom timing now. This could get a little awkward for Liquid. Like when we think about their map play, Axe doesn't really do too much, which means he's kind of bound to bottom. Nisha's having a hard game mid, and now Beast will start taking over top with the Dominator.
And nothing to say, he's ready to look for the kill top.
Yeah, it's just reinforcing. They're making some... They're very simple, but very efficient moves around the map. No chance of holding this tower here for Liquid.
And Toby's going to show himself with the bonds.
I'm not sure if that was a smart move.
He's probably going to die for it. So it doesn't really stop the push. Ends up giving his life another kill for nothing to say.
Because the thing is, Liquid cannot return the favor here. They cannot take the tier 1 of Tidebound down bottom. Let's see in this mid play, Shiro's... Wow.
Oh, and indeed, Wise, they're ready to mess with him. Make sure that he can't even catch a break there, Nisha. No arcane room for him.
They've got their number, at least in this early game. And we've seen this before. You have a 3k lead, you take the enemy safe lane tower, you do have a summon Shiro. Bak will make his way through the enemy jungle into mid.
Well, a nice stack as well.
Wow, that's a big one.
It's going to give a nice bit of a boost to nothing to say. His Orchid timing this game, that's for sure.
And it will give Planet his level 6. So if they want to use that to take the mid tier 1, that's great. I mean, people can try to learn from this. Look at the two supports. One support gets to leech the Ancients, the other one takes the mid lane, and this is perfect XP management coming out from Tidebound.
I do, of course, have 6 ready on Toby, so... Call him at the ready. But I guess the question is, you know, if you're Liquid, how are you looking to sort of set up a team fight at this early stage if Tidebound do continue to just pressure and dive these towers?
It's all going to be off of the back of Toby, I believe, at this point. Because your TA need... All your cores kind of need time. Which means they need to allow Boxy to get level 6. Bach currently pressuring Mickey. Got him with the dust, but of course TA traps are quite strong. I would assume that Tidebound's strongest move on the map right now is to force this mid-tier 1 tower. Have Bach push through the top side. Get into mid.
And nothing to say. Did sweep back up to the top, but not really in any position to catch out Mickey.
It's really not easy to take over like the TA side. You're gonna run through a lot of traps. If you're smoked and you don't pop him right away, he's gonna slow you down. I mean, Planet, he's not stopping on the stacks. Boxy's around. Of course, there's a terrorize for the potential.
They've got a grip at the ready, but as you say, there is a counterplay in store. There's the grip. Is there going to be a chance for the save? It's too far away, so they're able to just blow up Toby. Nisha will get the chance to live, as there wasn't any follow-up damage really coming in during the grip. So Nisha will survive, but that is the golem out of them. And they'll be able to deal with that very quickly, Tidebound, whilst also finishing off another tower.
Yeah, that's a big deal, because the one spell that I feel like Liquid can use to fight back, they had to use it in this fight with the golem. But at least in the side lanes, they do get to breathe in the meantime on Saberlight and Mickey.
Is under attack.
Now close to the Blink Dagger for Saberlight on the Axe.
Blink Deso should be the fight back timing. I mean, of course, you can look for a potential play with the Axe Blink before, maybe Boxy and Saberlight together. It would be really nice for them to smoke into their safe lane and kill this Beastmaster if Bach does overstep.
I mean, they're Liquid. They want to try and catch nothing to say. He's already playing it safe, though, with the Blink. Boxy not able to get the opening onto him. And will now be kind of clear what Liquid want to do down here, so nothing to say. We'll probably play quite cautious.
I love Planet's both item and skill build. Like, we might see it come into effect pretty quickly. All that Liquid can do is jump one guy with an Axe or Storm and hope to burst that target down. He already has a max out Sunray. You don't see the skill build very often. He just wants to make sure that this counterplay that they have available will just really ruin Liquid.
The smoke might just catch them by surprise.
14 minutes.
Saberlight, Boxy. They're going to find Boxy. Boxy gets the Shadow Remote. Saberlight's going to try and go for the fight, but the Sonic Wave's in onto the both of them. Nisha jumps forward, but that's Saberlight dead. Boxy looking for the field. Will get it onto the 2, but Nisha's falling so low. Can he grab it? Nothing to say he can. They bring him down. Can they kill the egg?
They can.
They can. Mickey takes it down. Double kill for him, but Shira and Bach are still fighting strong. Mickey not going to get out of this fight. As Shira and Bach chase him down, they kill the egg. They do get a trade. Ends, what, 3 for 3? But it is, what, just the fact they lose the 2 cores on Liquid, whereas it was just the 2 supports and 1 core on Tidebound. So still not quite the fight Liquid need to get the momentum back.
I mean, they did get to hold and they got a lot of levels. I don't mind it too much. You got the Deso on Mickey, and they're looking for a quick play into mid here.
All right, I mean, yeah, if they get this on top.
Ooh, nothing to say. This is a big one.
He blinked in. Oh, he is going to kill Nisha, maybe. No,
the Urn heal?
The Axe is going to miss. Nisha's going to live. That was an awkward blink forward there. He was not ready for that one bit.
Absolutely not. This is very good fight back from Liquid. And we cannot underestimate some of their damage output. Mickey on the TA with the Deso. They also have, of course, the Axe Call against the Bristleback. See what they can get. It is nighttime, and they do have Desolator, so Roshan could pop more into the minds of both teams.
They want kills first here by looks of it, Tidebound. Raw and Grip at the ready. And Shira still feeling pretty unkillable here as he can push on in the mid. Knows that it'll take a lot from Liquid to take him down.
That should be the Roche.
And Liquid, they'll probably want to have a say about this, surely. They've got their ults, they've got the golem.
So Nisha doesn't have a TP, which means he might just stay around the bot area, but you could look for just a little sneaky play.
Fear's coming out at the side. They're trying to heal the Bane up. Actually able to get the Nightmare off here, White, but he still dies. Sablelight's going to go for the TP out. Boxy won't be quite as lucky with the Sonic Wave coming in. It's just a 1-for-1 between the supports, but there's enough space for Tidebound to finish that Roshan, get the Aegis on Shiro.
Still good macro play from Liquid. You keep everyone on the map. You do trade 1-for-1. Sure, you give up Boxy's life, but you delay the Roche a little bit.
And Shiro's ready to get that Aegis to work straight away as he's pushing in bottom. Liquid are heading towards him, and Shiro is pretty out alone.
They should look for him.
So they get the call. I mean, this is probably going to be threatened a second time. TPs are now starting to come in. So if they can get over to him, they get the pullback with the Vortex. Here's the backup. It's another call, but the Raw's there. On to Saberlight. Saberlight falls. Now they turn to Mickey. Golem's going to get dropped. Stops the chase here from Tidebound. So Mickey gets the space. They lose the Aegis, but they do get a kill. Saberlight to die.
Perhaps a slight overplay from Liquid, but still taking out the Aegis, of course. It's quite good. Could have maybe called it quits after the initial kill. So it looks like Y didn't TP over to bottom just yet. Got out some very good wards in the top area on the Bane.
See what they can get at top. Blink on Mickey. He's more than ready to get in position in these fights. Mid tower under threat here from Tidebound. Mickey. It's going to start with a D push. Tidebound still feeling confident with the push. There's the Ancient Granite Golem done. Easy 250 gold. Trying to slow this down at the side. It's only onto the Bane. Boxy, he's dead. Can't TP out of this. They'll get Y in return with the dunk, but the Raw's out. On towards Saberlight. See if he can get out of this one. The Sonic Wave catches him. Nothing to say. Did jump in aggressively for this. Nisha turns, looking to control him. Supernova will be successful at the side, but Nisha gets the kill first and gets away from the Supernova just in time. Mickey, burnt by the Sunray. He's just dead.
Holy!
He was not. He completely underestimated the damage there from that Sunray and the reach indeed. He's just dead.
Hotspot with the good old Aether Lens. Yeah, he literally got burned to death.
Yeah, could have lived, but yeah, I did not expect to die that quickly.
Well, usually the spells you care about when you play carries against Phoenix are Fire Spirits and the Egg. So he got caught by the next one.
I'll see this again on the replay. Push coming in, you know, Mickey's ready to sort of start the defense. It sort of starts pretty split, of course, with that move coming in from Boxy towards Y up top with the Fear. Now, Liquid trying their best to sort of hold these tier 2s, but it's not easy with Tidebound having the lead they did at this point where they're pushing. And yeah, as we see here, now Nisha at least able to get something out of it by cleaning up the big killing. It's nothing to say.
I mean, this even looked pretty good. They trade, like, what was it, like a 2-for-1 initially? Because Nothing to Say did go down.
Yep.
But then, yeah, with the Egg and the follow-up Sunray.
Yeah, we just see Mickey burn it. So he wants to kind of step back in, and at this point he could run, but he's stepping in, and he's like, oh, hang on. This is hurting a little bit more than I expected. And he's gone.
Yep, that's when you click the Phoenix, and you're like, okay. You ping the Facet, you ping the Aether Lens. Now he's getting the Holy Locket. Yeah, I love what this man is doing. I will say, even since back in the day, the Chinese Phoenix has always been the most impressive one. They really know how to rock this hero.
Back on with the push top. Tidebound. Liquid. And just still managed to keep the tier 2 up in the mid lane. Obviously took quite a beating. This top tier 2, they might not be able to protect even the once, as this push from Shiro ain't stopping. Tier 2's gone.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, and a lot of survivability coming out again. It's not just the Sunray buffing people up. You've got the pipe completed on Bach. You have a Pavis also on Y with the Nightmare save. Let's see how Liquid get to play through this.
And those sort of auras coming out and saves on top of the fact that the Kaya Sanj is now done for nothing to say means that even if he does these aggressive blink-ins, it's highly likely they can protect him from the damage output of Nisha. So it's going to be much tougher for them to find that kill in return. We'll get the courier snipe though, Nisha. Takes that away from Shiro. That point booster. Would still have been about 2,000 gold off the Aghanim, so not too crazy.
Just a little setback. Well, Liquid are doing a good job when it comes to the map at the moment, but there is a smoke from Tidebound to try and break this motion.
Too much damage here. Can't TP out anymore. Toby's dead. We're seeing it as well with Boxy. It's TPing away from these guys is pretty impossible. Nisha. Too slippery for them to deal with right now, but Tidebound, they can focus their efforts on just bringing in the mid lane. Mickey is going to get the chance to get the tier 1 top.
Oh, Liquid are recovering the map very nicely. Want to see how they deal with one of the next things. So Tidebound, do they just want to force a tier 2 into a tier 3, find a fight? But Liquid, they're one step ahead.
They've got the setup. Into the fear. They've caught him. There's no saving, nothing to say. Gets completely blown up here by the physical damage as well from Mickey. They'll turn towards Planet. He's got the egg at the ready, but he's not going to use it. Knows they'd kill it anyway. So Liquid coming in with 2 easy kills. And nothing to say. Definitely has to be a bit more careful. The setup and control. Even with the Kaya Sanj done, he dies too quickly.
They're not done yet. Bach is on a trap.
Nisha. Setting up for the next trap. The Raw's there on a Saberlight, but the Bramble holds him back. That's going to be Bach gone. Liquid indeed starting to really hit back against this lead that Tidebound had. Okay, getting involved.
One of the strongest things that I see from Liquid is how quick they are to just make a decision. First, they're split pushing for 2-3 minutes and one type of mode of how to play. Then they see B showing bottom. They see that nothing to say oversteps. Immediately they all TP and smoke.
And nothing to say. Yeah, his game's starting to slow down. Nisha now taking over from him on the net worth and levels as well. You can see it with the kills that have been happening. Nisha 2 levels ahead of nothing to say. After nothing to say, had such a fantastic start from that mid lane. These deaths are hurting him big time on the co-op.
Oh, they really are. Look at Mickey's net worth.
Yeah.
It's overtaken everybody. He's on the top. He's got the Crystallis. He's got the Shard as well. This shot is very good. Even if you just insta-pop the trap on either Bane or Phoenix, you're really screwing up their spells. You cancel the Sunray, you can even cancel the Grip.
That's Tidebound.
Yeah, he got through a very hard phase of this game.
He did. They put a lot of pressure on him mid. He's climbing back up there, Nisha.
Radiant are scanning.
There we go. Tidebound. Groups up. Ready to sort of back up Shiro on the push on the mid lane. They want this tier 2 gone. See if Liquid try and force together a fight. Last few times haven't been too bad from them. They do have the Golem ready to drop. And tier 2 is very, very low though, so Tidebound. We'll finish off the job here.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Liquid just maximizing what they can get across the map, and that does continue to work out very well. The net worth of TA.
Getting a lot of info from these traps. Tidebound need to be careful. Look at how many traps there are in this jungle up north.
And I think Liquid, they're going to want to say something about this Roshan.
I think so.
They're going to want to do something about this one for sure. This will not be a free one for Tidebound. Liquid, they're going to look for the fight. That's Boxy. Trying to get some sort of reaction out first. Shiro continues to chip away at the Roshan.
Well, Liquid have no stress. There's a trap in the pit. They know everything.
That's a nice rune here for Tidebound, though.
It's about
Shiro,
the best
he'll
they can
grab
get.
that. Amplified damage rune to help potentially finish off the Roshan and be prepared for the fight if Liquid do try to set up onto him. The smoked up Liquid trying to find an angle to catch Tidebound by surprise. Boxy in again.
Oh, that's the Bristle Axe down. It's kind of low mana too on Shiro.
Bark will lose the summon. But he's keeping them sort of, their attention focused away from the pit. Liquid, they're going to have to jump soon, but they don't manage to time it. Shiro gets the chance to just finish off the Roshan, get the Aegis. A little surprising there. Liquid, they had the full team, but they just didn't feel that they had a sort of timing or opening to make the jump in.
Yeah, didn't feel it, which can be okay, of course. You don't need to overforce.
Nisha, it's clipped by the silence. Obviously trying to get out with the Shadow Realm, but still getting burnt so much by the Sunray. Again, another failed TP out there. Boxy's dead. Now Tidebound. I think getting that Roshan, that's big stuff for them. Liquid absolutely were in a position to maybe do something, but they just couldn't. It's kind of a dinosaur was sent at them, and that was that. They'll be able to swing back in, find White.
It's a good kill for them. Some more Deso charges for Mickey. And of course some increased mana regen for Nisha.
Saberlight does have the Lotus Orb complete now, so at least a little bit of save potential for those that are getting gone upon. Getting very close to having the AC online though, Buck. 1,300 gold, and he'll have that. So the pushes are really going to get fueled up. Tidebound definitely going to have a solid chance in the next 3.5 minutes of Aegis to go for tier 2 and potentially high ground.
Yeah, I want to see where they go with this. I assume you could wait for the AC and maybe minute 30 for the siege wave and go up to the high ground? Or do they want to go before that?
And Liquid look to be on the hunt again. See if they can maybe catch out Bark alone. But the rest of Tidebound are very close by. I'll start to get some indicators now that Liquid's down here. Saberlight. Get the blink on just in time before the Quills hit Boxy. This time the TP should be enough.
Yeah.
Against this Aegis Bristle. Holding the tier 2. It's not going to be an appealing option for Liquid.
Liquid have good control of this area. They see everything.
So they want to jump this. Shiro pushing in against the 3. The Mickey tries to turn. Blade mails out though. Brambles does catch on towards Bark. See the zip forward here. They're trying to deal with the summon. They'll get it. Bark was able to reclaim control of the outpost. Now the push can continue. Saberlight considering a jump. Does he want to make it onto this Bristle with the Aegis? He's going to go for it.
Okay. Just some poke.
So what they can do the first time round, Shiro's going to be fine. They managed to keep him low. They're going to go again. They want that Aegis out of him, but the heals are coming in with the Sunray. Doesn't matter. Aegis still lost. The Fear pushing back the 2 on the back lines. Jumping over now towards Y. They get the call onto the Bane. Y, he's falling low. Will die. The Supernova's down. Liquid, they've got to bail out.
Look at the Sunray.
Just burned down by Planet once again. These Sunrays, my goodness, they hurt.
There's so many like big plays coming out from the supports. First, Boxy going into the backline, terrorizing 3 heroes with like a ward. Y sleeps himself to keep himself alive, and but this Phoenix, man.
It's just ruining Mickey. Mickey can't fight.
Yeah, put some respect on this man. This Phoenix, he's popping. Planet's tip is really strong on this Sunray. Like with this facet and the lens, yeah, he hurts. Keen-eyed on the neutral also, even more cast range. Yeah.
And here's the push. Saberlight's going to try and stop it. Comes in with a call, but again, this is without Nisha or Mickey, so Liquid have to be careful how much they try and put and stop in this unless they want to commit the buyback of Nisha. Fortification out. Tidebound, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. This tier 3's gone. Onto the barracks. Liquid, they don't want to use Nisha's buyback. They're going to have to accept that these racks are going down whether they like it or not. Saberlight trying to draw their attention away. Toby will be able to get out there with the Ghost Scepter. That's the bottom set gone. Tidebound in a great position now.
It's a similar position as the last game. Gold lead, one set of racks. Need to make sure they keep it clean. As Liquid are by no means out of this game. So they have very strong scaling heroes. Nisha closing in on his Parasma. They do have to start dealing with Planet one way or another. Yeah, kill him first or kill, like, mass destroy this egg.
I mean, it's what, sort of down to Saberlight and Nisha, one of the two of them to find an angle on the
Phoenix. Maybe start on him and then you try to keep your range with Mickey to hit him and then pike the beast when he... Uh-oh.
That's too much? Yeah, so much AoE damage to burst him through that Shadow Realm. Again, nearly 1,000 being kicked out there through the duration of that Sunray.
I mean, people better start looking at this facet more. Because I only see it very rarely, but after seeing this game... should be something... Uh-oh.
It's going to be another one. The Raw's there on a Saberlight. Wasn't ready for Tidebound to sweep up here. And Tidebound can go over, claim the Tormentor, and potentially get that push going on the top lane. 50 seconds, no axe. Long time to be without Saberlight here, Liquid.
Blink on the beast now as well, so another added layer of catch.
See how much they can try and get done whilst Axe is dead. Might be difficult. Bottom lane's getting shoved out by Nisha and Mickey. As Mickey is very close. What's he looking towards next? I mean, yeah, it's having the Silver Edge queued up. He pretty much has the goal for the Shadow Blade component, but would mean playing without buyback, which is getting riskier and riskier in this game. Why?
Don't dare to go on him.
Yeah, they're sort of afraid to even just go for the Bane now at this point.
He's quite tanky. He's got Gale Guard, he's got Solar Crest. Can sleep himself if he lives through.
Tidebound's heading down here. Liquid's got to be prepared, or at least has to get out.
It would be kind of big if Liquid could even just get one kill or nothing to say and take this gem out of the game. Because they're not just losing map, they keep losing every trap that Mickey places on the map.
But tries to live the solo play, but the Shadow Realm was very quick there from Boxy. Why? Not quite able to get a grab onto Boxy. Got the zip in from Nisha. He's going to go straight for Wine. They're looking to try and burst through the Bane. The heal's coming in for the Sunray. Not enough to save him. Golem gets dropped here. Saberlight gets the call onto the Phoenix. Planet still gets the Supernova off. And here's the Sunray. Burning through Saberlight. He has to run. They've got to back off. We're going to see Mickey go for the TP out. He'll make it out just in time. But Boxy and Toby will get left behind. The supports of Liquid cleaned up. As Tidebound only losing the one support themselves. Shiro coming out on top again as he clears up the double.
Did I see that right? Was that a Centaur that stomped Storm and Axe while they were trying to kill the Phoenix? I'm pretty sure. Which is why Y is also pinging out some neutral camp. Even the neutrals are helping them win.
Oh, there we go. Would they have actually killed the egg if that didn't happen?
They could have maybe even killed it before the egg came out. Well, if we have some downtime, we can potentially look at a little replay.
Let's have a look at that.
So, of course, they first initiate here. They try to get onto Y. Let's put some attention onto Planet and the Centaur.
Oh, here comes the Centaur. So already starting his efforts against Planet. He's caught in the call.
That's a pretty long stun.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. And they have the dunk available.
Well, there we go. Liquid having further issues coming out against them here. They're now down 13k. That's Tidebound. Into the pit again. Liquid failed to sort of bring together a fight last time around the Roche. Looks like it's going to be the same situation here. Not able to make it over. Well, this time it's also Tidebound. Roshan's there's Aegis ready for Shiro once again.
They're looking for the silver edge on Mickey.
How close is it? He's very close.
He's basically got it completed.
But will be him spending up, so there'll be no buyback available for the next fight if he wants to go fully in, and he will. So that's silver edge online. They may now have a chance to burst Shiro, but of course they've got to try and do it twice. He's rocking that Aegis.
You need to deal with this Phoenix, but Planet, he understands this. He's got a full A on disc, so I don't see how they can cut through him. Liquid are hoping that Tidebound would walk over here into this area, but I don't see why they would do that. They're gonna go hit your high ground.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Liquid, can they stop this Aegis push? Oh, Saberlight. Again with the blink, they've managed to drag him in pretty deep here with the break as well, bursting him low, but the sleep comes in, breaks him out of the combo. The heal as well with the Sunray. Shiro, he's fine. They can't even take him down the once there with the saves coming in from Tidebound. BKB now from nothing to say as he looks to walk it off. Another call comes in from Saberlight.
Oh, Liquid
down
are
to
doing
finish
good.
him off. Big hit comes in from Mickey to clean him up the once. Can they go a second time? They're with the side. It's Nisha. It's got the Vortex. The defensive nightmare again, though, breaking Shiro free.
They're killing
He's
Pop.
in with the BKB. They do get the call and the dunk down onto nothing to say. Shiro's BKB about to come to an end as well. Nisha, does he want to try and chase this? Saberlight also looking to see if he can get in range for another blink call. The smoke as well, trying to do everything to close the gap. They close the gap on what? Liquid, able to
Nice
hold
hold.
the defense mid. They keep the racks alive. They push back an Aegis attempt there from Tidebound. They hold.
Very nice execution by Liquid. They're just slowly chipping away at the cooldowns. One Sunray, one Egg, the BKB on Quap, and then they just re-go. Gotta be careful, Tidebound might be getting some PTSD from last game.
And Nisha very close to his Lincoln Sphere as well, which is going to help him in his efforts to just sort of get in, get on top of these key heroes like the Phoenix at the start of the fight.
It will let him play quite freely. No grip, no roar. Mickey also working on one, which means they can help each other out.
One side bam. I'll have everyone back up. In terms of cooldowns,
Radiant's middle
it's of course still the longest one being that chaotic offering, so they might try and see if they can go for something Tidebound whilst they know that the golem's on cooldown. Still over a minute. There's eyes on the mid. We say though, Nisha, a very tricky one to catch with the Lincoln stunt. Also having the shield room ready in the bottle. Do have the nullifier for Shiro though, so they can really kind of full commit on a target now.
Yeah, they're getting a bit annoyed by the Force Staffs and the Gold Scepters.
See if they can make this move, as I say, before that chaotic offering's back online.
Radiant are scattered.
About 35 seconds still.
Tidebound did scan them out. I mean, Boxy's in the front, he's got the A on disc.
And it's look pretty set up for this. They're going to find Toby and Sable off to the side. Sablelight's in trouble. Dive forward. They get the roar in. Does get Lotus back up towards Bark. And now Nisha is looking towards him, but doesn't want to fight under the egg. They'll back off. Kite out the Supernova. Sablelight thinking about getting back in. Shiro's going to continue to try and chase down Toby.
got
Dive
Y.
forward. They'll kill off the Warlock, but Sablelight dead as well. Can they still keep this fight going? Liquid Nisha trying to use what he can to take nothing to say down, but the blink count's there. Double buyback comes in from Liquid, but they're going to lose Boxy as the fear will not save him. Toby TP's in, drops the golem. They get the break on Shiro, but the BKB is at the ready. Shiro is going to be fine for now. Mickey trying to chase on. Look at the trap slow.
No matter.
Another trap slow in place as well. Planet's going to go for the TP out. Nisha's not got much mana to play with. Shiro trying to heal up, but the Vortex is all that Nisha needs to lock down the Bristle and ensure that Mickey can finish the job.
Really, really good fight from Liquid. Once again, Nisha at some point used all his mana to get onto nothing to say, and the Parasma actually ticked him out. Still 5k lead for Tidebound, but you can really see the power of Liquid's heroes.
I absolutely can. They did have to use the 2 buybacks to come in on that one there, Saberlight and Toby. And it will set them up for quite a push to come in from themselves now, Liquid. Still a minute without the carry Bristle online. We'll see this again play out. You know, a fight that very much Team Tidebound they wanted to go for at the start. You know, it looked to be kind of awkward. The Raw gets reflected, the Supernova's pretty much completely kited. They have to chase Toby down for quite some time to kill him off, but of course at the end of it all, he's not afraid to buy back and TP back over to this outpost that Liquid did have under their control. As you say, Nisha chasing down nothing to say, forcing him out the fight, who ticks out anyway. And then towards the end, even though Shira looks like he's going to start clearing them all up, can't underestimate the damage here coming out from Mickey.
Yeah, Tidebound, they need to be careful how deep they go. They have to fight around this, the Sunray and the Egg. They chased into Liquid's ward quite a bit, and all their 4 staff kiting each other out.
And Shira there at the end did have the Satanic try to start healing up, but yeah, the Vortex was enough to stop it.
And sure, you're using some buybacks on Saberlight and Toby, but off the back of that, look at your cores. TA level 26, Storm level 26, they have level 25 talents.
Yeah, they're massive.
Whereas as Tidebound, they have only one hero who's even close to being 25. And these are big talents.
Yeah, they've got to somehow break through these Lincolns, get that Hex or the Roar on towards either Nisha or Mickey, because otherwise these two will clean up the team fights. Let's see where Nisha wants to go next. I mean, do you think he'll go for the BKB, or can he get away with just getting this Ags instead?
Maybe BKB Shard is something I would like more, but let's see. I mean, if he feels frisky and spicy, he might get the Ags.
Yeah, he's considering both at the moment.
Yeah. I'll say the BKB Shard timing would make a lot of sense with your 25 talent. We've got the D's Bloodright on the Phoenix as well, with the Timeless, more debuff duration and the Spell Amp.
Last few fights, Liquid have done pretty well at respecting Planet.
I mean, they're doing very well when it comes to the kiting. The next row should really give us a brawl. I don't see either team shying away from the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Liquid's not going to let Tidebound take that one for free. Absolutely no chance. In fact, Liquid's already been able to close that lead that Tidebound did have for the most part. Tidebound ready to smoke. They want to make sure that they can do what they can to shake up Liquid before that Roche respawn, so the Liquid cannot set up to contest it. Last few fights have not been easy though for Tidebound. Obviously the thing that plays into the favor is the fact that there are those buybacks on cooldown for Liquid on Saberlight and Toby.
Well, they will walk into the triangle again. Let's see. I mean, Liquid need to respect the fact that their Warlock and Axe do not have buyback.
That's the risky thing right now.
So they will give it for now.
Still 4 minutes on those two.
Let's see on the Roche timer, as the overlay is always wrong.
Let's have a look. How long is it going to be? Work. Do the clock. Work.
It's not too much.
It's like a minute.
Yeah, it seems like a minute.
That's about a minute, right?
So not too long, as Liquid are... Well, they don't know how... Actually, they do know.
On Boxy?
With the TA, of course, they know exactly when it spawns.
And they're in. They get the call. It's a good call. But the Nightmare's there, and the Eon Disc as well will protect Planet. Tidebound, they have the high ground. Mickey gets him with a break kit. They'll quickly turn to deal with the Dinosaur instead. Tidebound ready to smoke up, so they can get back in on this. If anything, it was the fact that, again, the Chaotic Offering was dropped, and Tidebound, they themselves still have everything ready to go.
Let's see. Liquid might think that they have a free go on Planet, because the Aeon Disc is on cooldown, but he's got a refresher. Need to be careful that he doesn't get to pop that midway through to refresh it.
Yeah, Liquid's got to be careful showing around this mid lane. I mean, they're surely going to know that Tidebound will want to try and do something whilst the Golem's on cooldown.
Well, looks like Roshan will spawn on the top side. 5 seconds for nighttime. So Liquid are already 1 step ahead.
Yeah, will shift themselves into the superior position. I mean, they can go straight into the pit.
They really can, especially
they're going to take it so quickly. I mean, this Golem's sort of drawing Tidebound's attention back to their base. I mean, it means the Tidebound, they're not in any position.
But they got it instantly.
To get to the pit. This Roche is going too quickly. Tidebound, they're running over now, but I mean, there's nothing to say want to try for a steal or jump in with the Sonic Wave, but Roshan's already gone. Nisha's got the Aegis. As Tidebound, do they really want to try and force this fight now? It's into Aegis Cheese Refresher. I don't think they do. all in all, worked out great there. Such a Toby kind of just bringing in that mid-wave with the Golem.
Yeah.
Seemed to be enough of a distraction. The Tidebound, they didn't bring together the team in time to get to the Roche.
That's an absolutely illegal steal with nearly no counterplay. Sure, you leave behind a Greater Lotus. Just kidding. You pick it back up. That's huge.
Yeah, tough times now for Tidebound. Liquid, Aegis as I say on Nisha. Refresher shot as well, ready in the backpack. And Mickey just continuing to grow here. Absolutely massive on the TA, getting close to being able to treat himself to Swift Blink and even being close to having buyback on top of that. It's got an amplified damage rune. Liquid, they're going to want to go.
Let's see what they can find. Liquid are leading in the game now. Aegis in hand, of course, as well.
And he's finding themselves to get a small objective as they clear up the Tormented Tidebound. Blink Dagger ready on Y. I mean, we have seen Y in the last few fights. The Nightmares have been pretty annoying. You know, he has been able to sort of break apart any attempts that Liquid have to fully commit on someone. So definitely got to keep on an eye on Y for the saves.
Nisha did actually go for a Wind Waker. So he can, they can help each other. Granted, the target is not nullified, but they do have some Lincoln Spheres, of course, to protect against that as well.
And nothing to say. Eyeing up the Shiva's guard, but wants to make sure he's in a position to also have the buyback available. This creep wave, very scary, whoever shows on it. You know, Liquid is setting up. All tier 2s off the map now, both sides. Liquid still yet, of course, able to break the high ground, look towards the barracks, whilst they currently have that bottom one lost themselves. It's going to start buying up now for the Shiva's guard, and yeah, because he's got the money for both. So Shiva's is online for nothing to say, he still has the buyback gold available. On top of that,
Boxy.
leading out here, they're going to just open up with a grip.
Nullifier.
It's not going to save him. And Zisk is torn apart.
Well, it's been a while since we've seen a grip. Maybe Boxy also forgot about it. Tidebound will get themselves.
I mean, do you try and do anything with this? I mean, it's just a Willow dead. You know that Boxy's likely to have buyback.
You try to take back the map a little bit and see where that gets you. There's so many traps on the map. Maybe cleanse through it. Get some wards out on the map too. I mean, it's like Liquid are playing with half map hack with all these traps on the map.
Yeah, nothing to say. We'll do the best to clear them out, holding the gem, of course. Shira. We'll see where the money takes him next. I mean, what do you think you're looking towards here on him? Are you going to get kind of this basher into Abyssal? What do you still need on the Bristol?
Yeah, you eat the Ags and...
Yeah.
What, you buy a Blink and you get in there? Honestly, I don't know. You buy a Wind Waker also? Play some settings?
Settings? What's going on?
Reason? Question mark?
Reason? Tell us. What do we got?
Yeah, I'm honestly not quite sure where Shiro takes it from here. Like, what is... I also wonder what their idea is. What do they feel like they need to do? Does everyone need to get, like, a Blink and you get in the back line? Just make sure you force the fight and get the egg on top?
Would it feel kind of too... yeah, he's got the refresher queued up. I'm like, do they need more hexes? You throwing another hex into the mix?
I guess he needs to be the damage dealer. Eating your Ags into the refresher, honestly, that's the best choice. I like that. The double BKB, you get the double Satanic. Double ult, of course, also does make the most sense. And the only... Like, for Tidebound, they rely very heavily on these... On the stuns, right? On the roar, on the grip, or fighting in the egg. And Liquid have so many items to deal with this. The Force Staffs, the Yules, Wind Wakers, you can zip out. Even just all the cast ranges and attack ranges on all the heroes just to keep the distance.
Well, tense times here. Less than 1k gold between the two teams. It's a close one. Overall, though, momentum definitely in Liquid's hands. after they did manage to claw this one back from Tidebound. But we did see sort of a similar trajectory last game, right? It was kind of Tidebound getting ahead, Liquid clawed their way back in, but bam! Just like that, the game kind of shatters and Tidebound closes it up. So even though Liquid are going to feel that they are getting this control this time round once again, they're definitely going to be that much more careful to make sure they do not let it slip away.
Let's see, they put Nisha in front to break the ward that Boxy scattered out earlier. Let's see if Liquid can do anything. Aegis for 40. You still have a banner as well.
Yeah, pretty low on the timer, though. It is risky.
Yeah, it really is.
But maybe feeling confident enough to take those risks with how the last few defenses have gone from Liquid's side of things.
I mean, they could look to do something with the 50-minute siege wave and the banners. For now, just taking over the map and seeing what comes of that. Uh-oh, nothing to say.
Oh, he's got the BKB, but the call's there. Mickey's in with the damage.
Nightmare.
The Nightmare comes in, buys him a bit of time, but nothing to say, gets dunked, killed off. They've got the roar in. Get the cap on Anisha. His Aegis about to expire in 5 seconds, so they'll have to back off. Sonic Wave comes in, but the cheese is popped by Saberlight back up to full HP. Nisha ready to swing back over, has the Aghanim's Vortex, back onto the two, and the big K's in with the angle, nothing to say, he's dead. A dieback on the Quap. He's out for 2 minutes. As Liquid, still with the full squad fighting fit. They could push on. That's the gem hitting the decks as well there with nothing to say going down.
That was a really sick catch by Boxy. He knows that nothing to say. Not only did he buy back, his BKB was also a cooldown. He just beelines in with the blink, with the Yule's Curse crowns him, and they can just follow up and get the kill. This is a huge window.
Yeah, they've really had sort of the answers for nothing to say in this late game. They've caught him multiple times. Now 5 versus 4, ready to push on, they get the call. Nightmare again.
The counter sleep.
Still though, Nisha wants to push in. Shiro very tanky though at this point. Not easy to kill him under his tier 3 tower. Now focus the objectives, Mickey.
Where's the banner? Toby, get over here. They need the banner.
A minute still without nothing to say. So much damage to be done here with the right clicks of Mickey. Jump in for Saberlight, tries for the call, won't get it this time. The Hex is out, and we get forced back to safety. Trying to burn through Mickey again. You see the damage from the Sunray still pretty crazy. Nisha in with the jump. Gets the Vortex onto the two of them. Dive away from Planet. Oh, nearly dies there on the Phoenix, and they're going to try and finish him off. Nisha gets it, finishes the job. That's Planet gone. He has the buyback available. Shiro's in trouble. BKB and the Nightmare trying to get him away from Mickey. Shiro will live. They'll use the fortification. 20 seconds still until nothing to say is back up. White's been found. Nisha straight on top of the Bane. The Bane's out. Another buyback here coming into play. Liquid though, they've got the space to finish up the mid-rack. Saberlight, he's in with the grab. The call's there. Another Nightmare. White gets Shiro away from the call.
Wind Waker.
Yeah, Wind Waker's way out of this. Liquid, they got what they came for. They get the mid-racks and they force 2 buybacks out from Team Tidebound.
Liquid, they know what's up. They're just slowly chipping away at Tidebound, 1 cooldown at a time, 1 buyback at a time. 14k lead and set of racks.
And these fights for Tidebound, I mean, we see each time, even Shiro, as tanky as he is, he's lucky to live. Now, if somehow, some way, Y is not around with these Nightmares, these targets that Liquid go on will die every time.
I wouldn't put it past Tidebound to go for like a crazy smoke soon. Like, try to find a way to go around, drop your roar and an egg, and just keep the guy there with a nullifier, because they're just getting toyed around with.
Now, it looks like, yeah, Shiro's going to switch it up as well. Does want to get the Abyssal rather than the Refresher. Wants to be able to get in with that lockdown, stop this TA from getting that damage out. And put some sort of halt to Mickey's damage output in the midst of a team fight. They've been hit with the scan. Liquid know that they're around. Nisha's going to go for the jump though for Bar, but the BKB's out. Nisha zips back over towards the Bane. They're trying to get rid of Y this time. They've caught him with the call. Y's gone. Dead for 90. Nothing to say. Has to blink out. Shiro will buy back immediately. Nothing to say. In so much trouble as Saberlight reaches in, gets the dunk off. Bar caught by the fear. He's gone. That's the 2 of them out for good. Nothing to say. Out Y. Make that Planet as well. Also dead without buyback. Shiro tried to run in. It's over. GG's called. We're going to a game 3.
Oh, this is a great series. Liquid keep being forced to like try and clutch out the game. Tidebound taking it to them into the high ground. I wonder now for game 3, do Tidebound like double down and just try to fix this one high ground?
Yes, the deciding game 3 now here between Tidebound and Liquid. Kezi, what do we got?
We got Y coming to the top lane at minute 2, Owen. Trust me.
All right, we'll see if
Fierce
he goes for those dives. Yeah.
He knows what's up. But now in reality, we might have a clash coming up.
Okay.
Because Liquid, they're smoking around.
They want to go for it.
Saber super chat in the it's the break.
It's going to break indeed. So Tidebound, no. And nobody's going to get anything.
I mean, Bach is super speedy. He's got the Heart of Battle facet. So this Darkseer, he ain't being caught.
Yeah, interesting to see what they're going to be able to do with nothing to say on the Pango. You know, coming in as the last pick. We saw on the stats there pretty, kind of serious stats really. 8 and 4, this hero, right, on the offlane this tournament. In the mid, 1 and 6.
Yeah, that's garbage.
Like,
that's hyper garbage.
Just the sort of drastic difference there between the outcomes of the hero in both roles. I mean, why is that? Is it just there's at the moment there's other things you'd rather be playing in the mid lane?
I do think there's just nicer mid heroes overall. Like he just does a lot from the offlane. He's like you flex him, you shove him in the offlane, he buys whatever items you want him to buy. I wanted to look if Planet is just like disrupting Nisha to ruin his creep.
Yeah, I wondered if he was gonna. Yeah, he didn't do it.
It's just
I was like, okay, he's just gonna mess with the block, but nah, he didn't want to disrupt that.
And then we'll now go into the top lane.
Okay.
But I kind of like what Liquid have in this game. I do think the Axe 5 is very interesting from the Tidebound side, and also the way that they picked it. It's kind of a very big deny pick, but it is cool with the Darkseer in itself. And yeah, they talked about it. This mid lane, it's boring. Got some barriers, they're going to hit each other. We're going to pay attention to the side lanes.
Yeah. So Saber like this game, ending up on the Centaur. What do you sort of make of this hero? Because I feel like we haven't seen this hero as much as I'd sort of expected to be picked, right? Because this hero, it ain't bad, right?
No, I like Centaur quite a bit. He's also got some buffs. He has like lower cooldown on the double edge. I mean, Centaur is one of the biggest nightmares for range carries. And guess what? Tidebound, they've got a range carry. You build Blade Mill, you have the Stampede to get on top of him. You could even use the Stampede to try and kite out the roll a bit. So yeah, I like it a lot.
I should have a pretty chill lane as well. See how well Shiro and Mike can deal with him. But yeah, Saberlight should have a fine time CSing down here, I think. Pretty aggressive lane here between the two of them. On top, Mickey getting this TA. Again, I mean, does it at least look like a more difficult TA game? Because he popped off at the end of that last one.
I don't know. I don't think it's that difficult. I mean, there's an Axe who can call you, but he's a +5. So there's the roll. That's kind of all you have to dodge. You can even kill the Pango if you're having a good game. So
yeah, that's true, yeah.
I think Mick is kind of chilling. That's why we need to see Y come to the top lane and grief Mickey's game.
Yeah, he can't have an easy start to this game, Mickey. Because it does feel, you know, as we can see on the win rate, right, he's only managed to get his hands on it once, and understandably so. Most teams don't want to let Mickey have a hero like the TA, or even like the Nature's Prophet. I feel like they're the two that if you let Mickey have those, you're going to be in for a tough time.
Yeah, you're definitely in for a bad time. Because, you know why? It's trying to be as annoying as possible with the Battle Hungers and just hitting them. You do have very high base region on Axe, so I don't mind seeing him as a support.
But I guess this is the thing though as well, right? Sure, if Y wants to make the move up top, that's going to leave Shiro pretty vulnerable, right?
Well,
he's 2 will die.
Well, if they
deal with it, that's what when you leave the lane as 5, carry, deal with it.
If you kill the enemy carry, it's fine. Then all Shiro has to do is not die. Or if he dies, then it's a 50-50.
It's risky though. Even if you kill the enemy carry, your carry's morale probably still going to be great.
I mean, hopefully
he's just going to be mad you left the lane.
Hopefully in a pro team, they've got the morale to help each other out.
Well, that's true. You never know.
Reason. Okay, we're going to have a Lotus. Seems pretty free for Liquid. Let's start fighting each other, guys. These side lanes, I'm expecting a little more action.
Dude, check out the mid lane.
Checking it out?
Yep, look at that.
Got a lot of CS on the hero who always loses. Mr. Nothing to say.
Now, Nisha, he's getting destroyed.
He's struggling.
Is it expected to be this rough? This is rough. 19 for 9 against 10 and 2.
He might just currently be getting diffed a little bit.
Okay.
Which, I mean, Pango's a good laner. I don't mind it. I think Void Spirit's...
Oh, Void Spirit's but he's a good laner.
It shouldn't be quite this bad.
Yeah. This is impressive stuff for nothing to say.
You know, let him cook. Let's check in again in 1.5 minutes. Let's see how it's going.
Bottom lane. Why still trying to just run around, be a bit of a nuisance, is opening up space for Shiro to get the farm. Oh, still, yeah, this top lane. Seeing Mickey getting a nice chill lane once again. It's not going to be good news for Tidebound.
Nope, doesn't seem like they're putting any stop to it. And I like what Toby did. I mean, he used to be an offlane player, as hold that. Just kidding. Just gonna dodge the glimpse. They used 2 sentries before the game started on the medium camp and the hard camp behind the lane of the Darkseer and SD. So we'll not have any stacks back there to help them out. Double Fairy Fire on the Disruptor, also kind of interesting. Got another glimpse soon if they want to be spicy.
Well, just messing around with Planet, keeping the 2 of them lowish so that Mickey continues to go unthreatened.
Nothing to say is angry. I am watching him in the mid lane. He's denying creeps in front of his face.
I was going to say, he's getting a lot of the range creep denies as well, right?
He's doing great. 14 denies at minute 5. That's not too bad.
It's got to be careful because in this mid matchup as well, obviously with nothing to say getting as many denies as he is, he's going to get the quicker 6. If they bring in like a support, there might be a chance to play for a kill against Nisha if a good Rolling Thunder catches him on the steps.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the one thing Nothing to Say will not have in this game is a lot of follow-up damage from his supports, being Axe and SD. But of course, they can still just go mid, maybe set it up with a disruption.
He's got the 6 now.
Active rune at 30. Boxy is around.
Yeah, just coming over just in case Nothing to Say was going to try anything with the Thunder. Why? Also swinging over, so heavy focus around the mid here for the first power rune. And it will just be that much more difficult for Nisha to hold on to. They're going to go for some aggressive play here under the tower. I'll get the opening. Another bounce back. And Nisha, he's got to dissimulate. He's going to try his best to juke it out. He's got the stick charges as well, but the Battle Hunger's ticking him down. Nisha can't survive this first blood. Goes the way of Planet and Team Tidebound. Look at the glimpse on Y. And they don't have any further damage to threaten the Axe with.
No, that's it. Just a first blood and a lot of damage on this tower too. Look, it's another wave that's protecting the siege.
That's going to be another wave that Nisha's not going to get his hands on. Dying here underneath the tower.
Well, Nothing to Say. He wants to go through this group stage. He wants to do it quick.
Impressive stuff. Again on a hero that's just not been doing great in the mid. Nothing to Say, ready to show us how it's done. Bottom. Get the setup. Do they have the damage between the 2 of them? Sablelight's going to opt for the TP out. He's away.
They didn't quite get the kill, but this lane is kind of cool. You dead shot into the call, then you can, with the call, drag them through another silence. Yeah, I like it. Stylen.
Radiant are scanning.
Amid. Nisha hits the 6 and tries to get him with a jump on a Nothing to Say, but knows that he doesn't have enough burst to fully commit for the kill. Bark's going to start hitting the jungle. Again, this is Mickey's getting complete free farm. We never saw the Axe head up here. It didn't happen.
We did
Your
not.
wishes did not come true.
Yep, nor did fears.
So this is Mickey having an easy start to the game.
Yep, and we know what he can do with that type of start. At least Shiro has a pretty damn good game himself on the Muerta.
And how does sort of Muerta match up against the TA throughout the game?
To be fair, you do match up quite well, because of course your ult makes you unable to be hit by the TA. But TA also, you can keep your range pretty nicely. Like, it's not like you need a quick fight on the TA.
Sure.
So I would say it is more the favorite, but it just depends on who can drag out the fight longer, really.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing, right? If it's the Muerta, you got to be very aware of like the trap placements, right?
Oh, yeah.
If you pop the ult, you get slowed by a trap, feels kind of bad.
Oh, I think that, yeah, that TP will not quite work out for Boxy.
Maybe he can deny to Roche. See if he can do it, Boxy.
No.
He can't. Nothing to Say, comes in, gets the kill. Top lane, Toby trying for some setup onto Planet.
Does have the disruption against the glimpse.
Go for the disruption.
The
Trap
trap
is in place though for the slow as he comes out of it. As Mickey will be able to swing across, get himself a kill.
They do kill Planet, but it means that Bak does kind of get away with just some good old creep cutting. I will say the difference between the network of the Darkseer and TA is it's a little too high for my liking.
And Bak He's going to die for this by the looks of it. Surge has already been used. And maybe the stick charges? No, glimpses there, dragged back. Dead as well. It's a slow start, as you say, definitely in comparison to his lane opponent. 2k gold right now, difference between what Mikkei's gotten out of that top lane in the first 9 minutes compared to what Bart got.
That's quite a lot. And now with the traps, it just becomes even harder to take over this lane. And not just that, even if you do make a move up top, they have Stampede to bail them out.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, Mikkei he's in his element right now.
Absolutely.
Look at the setup.
That shot, ult.
And this time with the ult, they've got the damage. Smooth moves there between the two of them, Shiro and White.
Yeah, this is a very formidable lane. I like this Axe Muerta combo. Haven't seen it before, but I like it.
Yeah, they've got the 6 now on White. So, yeah, super strong kill potential down there. Makes it difficult for Saberlight to just be able to turn up and farm the wave.
Active Rune does go the way of nothing to say.
So overall, just sort of seeing that little bit of imbalance coming out through the laning stage. Sure, you know, on one side for Tidebound, Bark's not having the greatest of time. But in turn, the difference between the mids, very favorable
for
Tidebound. Nothing to say. Having that excellent lane against Nisha.
They are going for smoke. Toby and Nisha together.
That's the time. Look, 10-minute diffusal here for nothing to say.
Yeah, that's crazy. Why is not quite breaking the smoke? That could be Shiro's death.
Shiro scored in the Static Storm. No way to get him out of this one. So they're going to put the Stampede here to get away for nothing to say. He's closing in with the Rolling Thunder. We'll get the opening angle onto Toby. Comes in, huge damage here with the diffusion and the swashbuckle. They get the call onto Saberlight.
Nice wall.
Saberlight's going down as well. Maybe they can even look to move in for Mikkei. They get the Demonic Purge down on towards him, heading up to the high ground. The Brambles will hold them back momentarily, but they close in onto Mikkei. Mikkei will fall. He's going to opt for the TP out here on Boxy, but the damage from Planet comes through with the poison popping. Liquid lose 4.
That was huge for Tidebound. That roll from, I mean, the roll didn't even do that much. They only got the Disruptor, I believe, to start out with, but Saberlight looked like he turned around. And then they just brought all the reinforcements.
And that's such a big fight to take. Killing off Mikkei. You know, Mikkei was having all the space in the world, complete free farm top. Turns up for the fight.
Oh, no.
Oh!
Okay. They're kiting the Blade Mail.
Sure.
Whoa.
See if Saberlight can live. He'll get the stun out onto the 2 of them, but the poison stacks up and Planet claims another life. Not the TP and that I guess just sort of assumed that they'd left. They had not. Tidebound stuck around and they reap the benefits from this.
Yeah, that's not the only thing they're claiming. They're stealing the stack. Oh, they might get an axe.
I mean, White gets the call off and there is a disruption. Why? He will. I mean, is he guys going to die? He will die, but in turn, Liquid, they're going to lose both supports again.
Oh, we've got a feeding frenzy going on.
Got to stop the feed here. If you're Liquid, that's a lot of heroes you just lost back to back. I mean, what was it? The initial kind of 4, and then Saberlight again.
Yeah,
and then the 2. That's 7.
That's 7 kills.
7 deaths back to back. And what did they get in return? They killed an axe, right? They got more at the start. So it was effectively a 7-for-2 trade. That's not good.
That's true. And you lost your ancient stack. Planet, he got quite a lot of kills. Look at his net worth. He's just under Saberlight.
And we'll see if this pays off. Nisha going, would you kind of consider this greedy on this? He's gone for the bots first. I mean, in a game where he is playing from behind after a rough start.
I mean, it is kind of greedy, but I don't blame him. Like, if you rush Ags, you could kind of ruin your game. So...
Wait, how? Well, what's the downside of rushing Ags?
I mean, because then you might just be looking to fight maybe a bit too hard. I could see them with this early game being like, okay we're going to play
avoid.
Exactly, just like game 1 and game 2.
Okay, split them out, avoid.
We drag it out because they're going to buy all their auras with their darks here. You just farm.
That's fair.
You get your second, third round of items, and then you go.
All right, so yeah, indeed, as you say, that must be the indication here with that bot's being picked up on the Void Spirit first item this time. Just to avoid the action. We'll see if Tidebound let Liquid do that, because so far Tidebound, they've been able to bring the fights pretty nicely. 10-4, 4K lead. Yeah, nothing to say. Continue having an excellent time. I mean, off the back of that move from Mickey, it's sort of allowed nothing to say to catch up to the level of fun that Mickey was having on the TA. We'll see around the runes.
Roll.
It's there. They get the opening angle into the call. Static Storm's laid down, but it's beautiful bounces here for the Rolling Thunder. He'll get out with the Scylla.
Wow.
Oh, he knows where he's going. Nothing to say. In with the swashbuckle. Looking fantastic this game. Did fall off a little bit in that last one on the quad, but this game 3 coming in hot in the pango and not looking to slow down anytime soon.
Wait a minute.
4-0-5. Okay. We'll get out with the TP just in time.
Oh, that's a very wise blink pickup. Without that one, Mickey is dead. I mean, there's a reason every mid player used to watch Nothing to Say's replays,
Yep.
even years ago. Shiro looking for a gate play.
Saberlight. We'll get the setup here.
Should be the kill. Freebie.
Same time, I'll lose in the top tier 1 tower. Yeah, blink done. 4, nothing to say. In terms of blinks, we did also see this game, Mickey prioritizing the blink in his build a bit earlier, gets it before the Deso.
Yep.
Under attack.
Well, let's see. Because we have, of course, seen sort of similar stuff in the last 2 games, right? It's always kind of Tidebound, getting the lead towards the beginning. Last 2 games, Liquid have been able to shut it down and bring it back in their favor for the most part. Obviously, at the end of game 1, they did still lose it, but there very much still was that swing back towards them. So I think, indeed, as you say, we're going to see Liquid play out this period of the game in a fashion that avoids what Tidebound's going to be trying to bring towards them so that Liquid can get themselves back in and only fight when they're certain they can go for a 5-on-5.
Let's see if Tidebound want to do anything different in this game. Nisha doesn't want any of this, instantly TP's out.
Yeah, it's just going to be the 2 supports here. Maybe even just the 1. I mean, they're using the Stampede, actually, to try and bail Boxy out. Won't get out of there. Wise got him with the dunk. But if it's just a support here or there, Liquid will be happy in this period.
Yep, that's absolutely kind of what they want. That's also why you rush the blink on the TA.
Hey, this is nice. Amplified damage rune, head into the Roche.
Yep, that should just be a free one. And in the meantime, I mean, you will see Liquid push in those side lanes. We've got the blink on the TA. Void Spirit also very elusive.
Yeah, pretty crazy timing there we're seeing there on the Ether Lens for Planet. Fastest by far. So again, Tidebound in the lead. They have the Aegis, but they need to get so much done. Any sort of time they give Liquid is just going to be playing into Liquid's plan to gear up for the comeback. But they've absolutely shown us they can pull off Liquid, even when they get behind here in the early stages.
It's a 6k lead already, 17 minutes. Let's see if Tidebound are able to open up the map even more. That's a Diffu blink shard timing.
Because what's on the list really if you're Tidebound? What are you looking to next to sort of tick off in steps towards the victory?
Could be this kill on Nisha. He's on a ward, but yeah, for now, it should be to close out the map and either force a tier... I mean, ideally, you force the top tier 2 while you smoke across with the rest to also kill Liquid. Because Liquid, they're not looking to fight you. So you should not just look to take towers, but also pressure them on the map.
Is under attack.
I mean, they could look for a smoke. Nothing to say. He is the strongest hero on this map.
Radiant are scanning.
Let's see what they go for. Saberlight did finish up a pipe.
Are scanning.
I know that he's in here. Don't want to commit too heavily onto him though with this blade mail pipes. The least appealing target right now.
Well, Nisha also went straight for the shard after the travels, just to help himself more with farming some neutrals, easily pushing out some waves. Ooh, Wise on top, but should be okay.
They're still hanging around, Nisha.
He's got 2 steps.
They're on the way towards him. He's able to get away from both the wall and the Rolling Thunder. Still catches him on the way back, but backups here for Nisha. Stampede in place, they're trying to close in. They won't be able to get in on top of
Good
them
glimpse
straight away,
timing.
but the glimpse is there. Back into the Static Storm. They've caught nothing to say, and they've got the damage to take him down. Liquid, they'll look to turn this into more. They get the step jump over towards the Axe, get the callback with the Remnant. Wise caught. Liquid, they know when to take a fight. Got to be careful as Tidebound, falling to some of the similar issues that they did in the other games. They may be ahead, but a bad fight. Liquid's going to know it. They know that they can turn up and punish.
That's just quite good from Liquid, I'm not gonna lie. That's like just knowing your hero so well individually. Nisha toying with them at least a little bit, making ever so much space for his team and dragging Tidebound in all the way to the tier 2. From 5k down to 2k. A new smoke being rolled here by Tidebound.
They've got to find something big with this. It has to be a core. Killing Boxy is not going to cut it. It is at least around the Tormentor, so they can look for sort of moving in. The dead shot will cancel the TP, so Boxy very likely to fall here, clipped by the silence. So they get the Boxy kill, and they should be able to turn it into a Tormentor as well here top. So that will make it a little bit more worth it, but still with these moments, Liquid's cores are getting a lot.
They really are. For the position you're in, I don't know if Tidebound is currently getting enough. Like, look again, Made is getting pushed out all the way, Bot is getting pushed out all the way. Nisha has just been, like, literally living within the top area. Okay, Toby, you're dead.
This tier 2 top seems a bit scary. You can see, you know, Tidebound don't want to immediately go for the push onto it again after what happened last time. They have to be prepared for the counterplay from Liquid, especially now that Sablelight's going to have that Blink Dagger on the way. So even easier for Liquid to turn up and come in with the defense. At any moment, the Tidebound get a little too close to these objectives. Shiro, Aegis is about to expire, so highly likely that for Tidebound, they might fall back themselves onto just trying to get like the BKBs online. BKB for Shiro being the important one. It's going to take a bit of time, and again, that time that it's going to take, Liquid's going to be very happy with on the other side of the map.
I mean, this Aegis didn't really grant you anything. I mean, I don't want to down-talk Tidebound. They're still up 4,000 gold. But they're not currently stopping like the map split that Liquid have, which is really, really good. That's a finished Aghanims on Nisha. I mean, he might be lowest on the net worth in terms of the cores, but his hero is starting to be really useful.
No, it really is. The sort of for the pace of the game, the bots have definitely paid off. Trying to hunt down, nothing to say. Nisha.
Oh, they got him.
They have indeed. The disruption from Planet's there. Any way to play his way out of this one? It doesn't look like.
Good kill.
That's the Blink Dagger gold secured here for Y.
That could change the state of the game quite a bit. Planet also queuing up a Blink. Should have it if he wants to finish. And Bach too. So that's triple Blink. That really helps you with your map play.
Yeah, it makes it much more difficult for Liquid to sort of make the calls to turn up and try and turn the team fights. Just sort of how many ways Tidebound have to get on top of them and punish any positioning. Won't be easy.
Let's see also where Shiro decides to take his item build. Of course, he does have the BKB queued up. I believe that makes him nearly invincible in combination with his ult. Oof. Quick one. He was shelled. Actually, if Saberlight pops his Blade Mill and blinks on top of him, then maybe Bach wouldn't be able to blink out. But either way, very quick on his fingers.
Shiro. Very close to the BKB for the next fight. Liquid, they're definitely looking to try and bring it towards them. You know, with their own BKBs online on mid-gate. They are not afraid of a fight. They are 8k down. If they get a good jump, Liquid, the team fight will not be simple for Tidebound.
See what they find. They're currently hoping for an active rune pickup. No one is biting though, so they're gonna advance a little further.
Not on track at the moment to catch any cores. They might find White. I see Shiro farming from the low ground. Nisha is going to go for the quick step on a planet. Just the support kill. And we'll get the information for Tidebound. Liquid still able to claim the tower.
Doesn't quite feel like a 6 to 8k lead, does it?
Yeah, not with the sort of the way that Liquid's been able to move around the map, and Tidebound haven't really been able to get a move going themselves. See them go for another smoke here, Tidebound. Will be before they have Planet back in play. They're trying to bait at the moment a little bit, maybe with Shiro showing. He's got his full BKB on the way out.
He is very, very strong.
The last few times they've found a support kill here or there, but they need something bigger. Mickey would be a fantastic
They know he's
catch.
up here. They have 2 good wards. It already spotted him.
He might TP out Mickey if he senses something.
He will.
He's out, yeah. He knows that this sort of move's likely to be coming in, and he is away just in time.
Crazy.
Yeah.
A matter of seconds. It also made them place another ward, which they didn't really need, but they were hoping, of course, to catch Mickey there. Let's see what Liquid can do in return. Going for their own smoke.
This could be a good one, yeah, because Mickey TPing over towards the rest of the team to join this sort of play. It's been hit with the scan, though. Tidebound knows it's coming in from this angle. Tidebound can prepare. Another scan hit, so they know the Liquid's up on the high ground.
Another smoke.
See Saberlight first. Saberlight's going to be able to get him with the jump. Mickey follows up. They look to try and burst through Planet, but Planet's able to get the defensive disruption. The dunk comes in. They fully control Saberlight, and now Nothing to Say is ready to roll on for more. Forces Mickey to have to put the BKB. Nothing to Say slides up to the high ground. Nisha tries to follow up with the Astral Step, but Liquid had to back off. Mickey's BKB coming to an end. Very quick stuff there. Great scans from Tidebound. They prepared for the play, and the Rolling Thunders always on par here from Nothing to Say.
If they clash together, Tidebound they're definitely stronger. At least for quite a while. This Pango, especially if he procs his lucky shot, it's so much minus armor. Saberlight, he just melted.
And this Roshan, I mean, Liquid, do they want to try and mess with this? Boxy's hovering around.
Might want to terrorize into Blink. Just kidding, he has no terrorize. But maybe he still wants to be...
Maybe just see if he wants to try for it. It's a little early, and White is able to control him. Boxy tries, but fails. It's Tidebound. Roshan's going to be theirs. Shiro, another Aegis. We'll see what they can get done with it this time round. Why already charging straight up towards the top. They're seeing if they can maybe catch out Nisha. Cool's going to be off the mark as he tries for it blind. They do have eyes on him now, though. Nisha. See if he can get his way out of this one. He's going to step off to the side. Anything to stop it? They do. They've got the vacuum straight up on towards him. Toby's going to try and help out with the Static Storm. Anisha. Stampede there as well to try and get him out. But why? Jumps in, gets the call upon him. He's got one step left. Assimilates back up. Nisha's still falling so low, though. The dead shot hits him from a mile off. Shiro sniping him. Sets up for Planet to kill him off. Toby's going to take the fall as well. The neutral's helping out. Why? On a killing spree. Popping off here is the support axe. Mickey trying to do what he can with the space on the other side of the map, pushing the tier 2 bottom. Top lane, Tidebound. They've got the creeps coming in. They're going to be able to take this tier 2 themselves. This time, Tidebound definitely getting more done here with the Aegis.
Big kills. I don't know if they want to turn this into more yet. You do have the banner. You can go high ground if you want.
They still have BKB. They still have the ult hit for Shiro.
Yeah.
Oh!
Another pause.
What's going on here?
Any reason?
Reason?
G. Okay. Back in the game.
I hate it when we don't get a reason.
I agree. What's happening?
Oh, what's there? Here we go. Back up. See where they go next. Here, Tidebound. Mickey. Chrysalis picked up.
is under attack.
Tidebound really going to want to give it their all, though, with this Aegis. As we saw last time around, they didn't get a huge amount with it. It did sort of give Liquid the comfort to get back into a point where Liquid were the ones looking to make aggressive smokes themselves.
And this time, they should get more. It's also around the time where you have to pick up a gem if you're Tidebound. Again, it's the same story. You're playing against the TA. If they ever want to go bottom, you have to cleanse like 10 traps.
Let's have a look. Tier 2 in the mid. Trouble hit.
Well, Liquid have all the information in the world with this observer right behind Shiro. That Boxy did just sneak out.
Boxy.
Ooh. Careful.
I mean, why? Yeah. Next time around, why would be down to jump that? Let's hit high ground. See what happens. Shiro on the push.
Not quite. Seems a little indecisive. I don't know if they want to fully commit. Oh, Y has an idea about the Wisdom Shrine, perhaps. Well, protects himself.
He's not able to get the steal there. Oh, and Y nearly on the mark there with that. Not quite. Nishi gets out.
Big item also, nothing to say. Does finish up the Basher. So very hard to BKB TP out.
It's under 2 minutes left on this.
They could look, of course. Again, this is the siege wave. You have Aegis and a banner.
Yep.
If you want to go high ground, it is with this wave. If not, looks like they're drawing down bottom.
There's still a tier 1 and tier 2 for the taking down there.
I mean, it gives you some towers, but it doesn't really change the game. I mean, again, just pay attention to Nisha. He wants more. He's just living within this top lane and the side.
Dire's bottom tower.
They're kind of split right now. Shiro is shown on the bottom.
They're eyeing Saberlight in the mid lane, if I see this correctly.
Let's see if they can do it. He's pretty tanky. There's good angles with the Rolling Thunder again. Nothing to say he's going to head over towards Toby and just shreds him on the back bark. We'll get the vacuum on a Saberlight, but the Stampede comes out immediately. They're looking to see if they can burst through. Nothing to say in return. Nishi's in with the jump. They've killed off Bark. Toby, he wants to buy back and take a part in this fight. Call from Y.
Good call.
Gets the call on the both of them. Is there any follow-up damage, though? There is not. Y is just dead for his efforts to jump in at the side. They kill off Toby a second time. Shiro now with the ultimate. Liquid, they want to kite this out.
He's committing a
Slide
lot.
forward, he has to BKB TP out. He doesn't want to part of this fight anymore. They'll bail out of that one, so... Again, Liquid not dealing too badly at all with these sort of Aegis fights that Tidebound look for. Tidebound end up losing the 3 of them. They only get the Disrupt to kill twice. Any sort of push, it's put to a stop. Tidebound are going to be slowed down.
I mean, they're doing it really well. That call could have been quite good, but I think Toby, with the buyback, he held them in place around the outpost. And I mean, I want to point it out again. It's just like last game. Mickey's level. He's level 23. Like, sure, his teammates, they may be dying around him, but he always ends up getting the killing blows.
Yeah, only the 1 death on him this game. Okay. I can set up to take the Soulmenter out for themselves, Liquid this time. Show up for Boxy. I mean, what do you do if you're Tidebound? You know, so some of these attempts with the Aegis haven't gone great. When you don't have the Aegis, are you still looking for these moves?
Anyone you find in like a nice way, they are dead. So you should still look. The problem is they need to buy a gem. They cannot play against TA like this. There's too much info on the map being given. I'm pretty sure Mickey has 15 traps out on the map. So let's see. Are they showing anyone? I don't think so. Liquid should be able to read this move. They are pinging, so Toby will break this one.
It's just a question sort of with these sort of kills, what can they turn it into? I mean, the Saberlight's been shoving out the bottom wave, so there's no bottom wave to work with, so they can't even really look straight towards these towers on the bottom lane.
Tidebound need to start placing some side lane wards, like on these corners. So you see the Void Spirit, you see the Willow Centaur like run out on the lanes. Because this mid control is not giving them very much. Again, Nisha, he knows his job. He's up top, fully pushing it in.
Yeah, he's played a really nice recovery game. You know, had such a tough time in the lane, but you're seeing now he's level with the farm of nothing to say.
I mean, at this point, the boots of travel, they've very much paid off.
Yeah, this approach was absolutely the perfect thing to do in a game like this with as tough as a start as they did. You know, Liquid are managing to get this game into their territory, into the way that they like to play.
And it's not just giving the mobility. Like, the reason, like, he gets to push out the lane, Nisha, he goes back and now they can instantly smoke. They know that Tidebound may want to defend one of their pushed-in lanes. They're a little split. They don't have Bak with them. Shiro.
Still a bit of a difficult jump. Does have disruption back up behind him. Yeah, Liquid happy to chill a bit themselves. They know Roshan's potentially up soon. Next Rosh would be a big one for Liquid. As that one, I'm sure they'll spend no time holding back from. They will not let Tidebound take that. Let's see where we're going to see the Rosh. It's going to be the slightly longer respawn this time.
Which, of course, does favor Liquid, because they know exactly when it spawns with the TA.
So there'll definitely be that, indeed, extra bit of sort of stress from Tidebound to try and hold the area around the Rosh pit. As you can see already with the TPs coming over towards the mid, they're already trying to set up. Liquid definitely going to be able to make more happen with these moments, as they know that there is indeed less pressure.
I mean, it should also allow Mickey to set up traps all around this jungle area and the Roshan.
I'm going to smoke for a kill here, Tidebound. Why? Can he get the opening?
Searched up.
Mickey. He's already out with the blink. Why's still going to try and chase, but Mickey's too far. They'll settle for Toby. They do get the opening taunt on towards Mickey, but he's able to get the BKB off, and the Stampede's there as well. Mickey on the run.
Blink in 2.
Can they continue to stay on top of him? They can't. Yeah, he's out with the blink TP. As of just the support for support.
They get out with a 1-for-1. Wow, Liquid are really getting a lot done.
They are.
In the meantime, double siege wave bottom, of course.
Yeah, Nisha's chilling. He's making as much as he can happen down on that bottom lane. You know, he's ready to join when he absolutely needs to.
They need to deal with it. Nisha is doing some criminal freaking activities in this game. They need to kill this rat.
We'll have the Daedalus for the next fight. Swift Blink now online for Mickey. That's the Daedalus for Shiro. Roshan. Still a minute to go. Tidebound, they have to be ready.
Well, Mickey does not have buyback and no BKB at least currently. I mean, if they get to commit on Mickey, he will die. Blink call with the Blade Mail. You've got the roll with the Basher from Nothing to Say to follow. So Mickey he's not allowed to let that happen. He's been perfect about it so far.
That's true. Because it will be a ridiculous amount of damage coming out from Shiro if he's in position in these fights. And we'll be going for the blink next. Absolutely necessary to make sure that he is in the right spot to just blast out the damage during the Pierce the Veil.
Buybacks will be very important. So far, there aren't too many on the board. He's got one available for each side.
Roche is up. Who makes the first move?
Boxy is wandering around, seeing what he can find. Trying to get out some good wards on the Willow.
Scan's been hit. Liquid know that Team Tidebound's up there. They're going to make the jump straight away. They fight back. Immediately onto the dark side, they're bursting, but buyback straight away. They get the call onto Mickey. Bash is coming in as well. Mickey wants the BKB, but Shiro's in position to finish off the job. The damage comes out here from the Muerta into the dead shot. Onto Sableye. The fear will push him back for now, but the talk from Y again catches on to Nisha. Nisha wants the BKB, but he has to run. Muerta getting brought solo by Sableye. Ends up, I believe, killing himself there on the blade melt towards the end of it, but the cleanup, it works. They get the 3 of them, they're going to get the 4 of them as well as Toby's chased down. Nisha, the only one to live. I mean, Tidebound, whilst they did get jumped there, they were pretty ready for that, but immediately in with the buyback, and as we saw this time round, this team fight, they were able to make it so that Shiro was in position to get the damage out. Sure, he dies at the end of it, but he got the job done.
What a full maniac play by Boxy. He just beelines behind everyone, places his high ground ward, but all that needed to happen for Tidebound.
Nisha, he's going to try for a steal, but he's a bit early.
He got bashed, I think.
And he's got to jump out.
Okay, he's poking. All good, all good.
He's probably not going to get the chance to poke in again, so this should be Tidebound getting another Roshan. See again on this team fight. Bart, as quickly as he died, was as quick as he was ready to press that buyback button and get back in on the action. And again, just Mickey taking so much at the start of the fight. The BKB comes off, but it's at about 20% of his HP that he has left after Nothing to Say set up onto him. And at this point, you just can't escape it from the damage that Shiro's doing.
It was actually... Like, Mickey couldn't initially BKB because when Nothing to Say rolled and jumped over the cliff, he bashed him with his axe into the follow-up call. And the live game.
That planet. Good defensive disruption to keep Nothing to Say safe. Liquid, they'll have everyone back up. It's an amplified damage rune that Nisha's going to have to play with the next team fight. And there's the call, though.
That's a good one.
Quick grab on the mid. They take Boxy out.
Well, I have watched this story many, many times. Tidebound, they're going to go high ground, double siege wave, and the banner.
Can they do it this time? It's been the sort of toughest part of the game for Tidebound this series. On all 3 games, it's caused them many an issue. Liquid. Looking for some sort of wraparound from behind.
Amplify damage rune on Nisha.
Shiro's got the refresher shard. Nothing to Say, of course, with the Aegis. There's the push. Sableye tries for the jump, but the Rolling Thunder's there. They get the call back up with the drag back of the Remnant on towards Y. The defensive disruption comes into play. Y heals up with the cheese, back up to full HP. Nothing to Say. Deals with Toby. Mickey has to put the BKB. The double support buyback coming in from Liquid. Mickey's BKB soon to come to an end. Shiro pots the refresher. He's ready for round 2. Nothing to Say. Tries to get the jump in back on Mickey, but Mickey's out with the refraction. Blink out. Nisha jumps down to the south. Planet's got his hands on him with the disruption. There's still another Astral Step at the ready, though, so Nisha will be fine. Tidebound, 2 kills. Instantly responded to by buybacks from Liquid, but Liquid weren't able to get kills themselves with those buybacks. Nothing to Say, still with the Aegis in his hands. Just the refresher shard being popped there by Shiro and the cheese being used by Y to keep themselves alive.
That's so tense. It is only the supports that had to buy back, so the rest are still okay.
Banners now. There's the jump, Sableye. He's in with the burst on his Shiro, but again, Planet's in with the defensive disruption. Sableye trying to take down the banner, the BKB and the pierce the veils up. They push forward, they get the vacuum trap back onto Sableye. Sableye's gone. No buyback on him. He's out for 80 seconds, doesn't have the money.
Wow. He got shredded. This hard pipe didn't do anything.
Well, Tidebound will back away from the base. And it's still this bottom lane that's been a bit pesky for them. That constantly has been shoved out against them. Tier 2 still there, so they are going to want to go back and bring that over. They will still likely have time to go for more with the 2.5 minutes on the Aegis for Nothing to Say. Shiro getting closer and closer to a refresh roll for himself.
Well, looks like Shiro wants to desperately hold on to his tier 3 item with the attack range, at least for now. Can't blame him.
That's understandable, yeah. That's a nice one to have. Looks like nothing too crazy here.
Still got the Aegis for 2 more minutes. Nothing to Say still with an impeccable game. Only 1 death to his name. He's doing really well when it comes to controlling Mickey in these fights. In
yeah,
the initial
he's
fight,
just got his sight set for the TA every time, right?
Keeps rolling on him.
Yep.
Then at the end, even just make sure he bashes Mickey in the base.
There's a little bit of a slowdown again from Tidebound, though. Not really feeling too much urgency from them. That maybe now that the refresher is done on Shiro.
They need to somehow clutch him, but it's not easy. If you do want to kill the Muerta first, you have a Shadow Demon problem to deal with which means you would need to designate Nisha to get on top of the SD while you try to blow up Shiro.
Tidebound.
Are scanning.
Not going to quite look to smoke up. I mean, again, this is the age is going to be expiring. So Liquid at the least able to wait that out from their point of view. Okay, wants to look towards the butterfly next. Just closing in on the gold for it if he wants to spend up. We'll see how they hold on to buyback gold now in this situation. Both teams, it's definitely getting to the point where buybacks are going to be very important.
Yeah.
A second life on any of these cores really turning back up to the fight could make the difference at the outcome.
Well, Saberlight wants to go for the card. Of course, quite good against the Axe Call. Can save your bros, especially Mickey on the TA. Can keep hitting away.
See if Mickey wants to sell treads and spend up. He's not going to do it quite yet. He wants to keep that buyback gold safe. Liquid, do they want to try and fight here outside of the base? Tier 2's already gone. Liquid just seeing if they get an opportunity to catch anyone stepping out alone. They're looking at Shiro. They've got to be so sure they can burst him. He's got BKB and Refresher. Oh, but the Mans, they're going to try. They're in with the jump forward with the Remnant, but Shiro's fine. Why? Has the BKB forced out him early? Park just to vacuum under the two of them. The Rolling Thunder comes in. They've caught Saberlight and they kill him so quickly. He does not stand a chance against the pistols of the Muerta. Dead for 80 seconds. Maybe seeing if they can look towards Shiro, but looking towards him a second time, it seems pretty impossible as to say he's still got Refresher ready to press. Nisha will at least cut down a courier. Oh, this push from Tidebound is absolutely going to come in now. Maybe see if they can force out the buyback from Saberlight.
Liquid do have a very good high ground ward. Why will put a stop to it.
Let's see what they can get out of them.
There's a buyback available. Before the fight, Nisha will get himself a shield room.
Nisha returns for the defense. Holding off on the buyback for now, Saberlight. They're going to get the jump in. Defensive disruption again. Keeping him safe. He's going to pop the ult and push forward. Shiro doesn't find any targets, though. So he'll back out with that used. They'll settle for the tier 3. Looks like they won't try and push for more. So Liquid will get to rest with their racks not going down and not having to use the buyback on Saberlight.
Not too bad after all for Liquid. Let's see how Tidebound get to regroup, as Shiro did TP mid to push out the lane all the way. I mean, Tidebound have a very good ward here around the Wisdom Shrine, but looks like Liquid will wisely back off.
Tidebound still hanging around. Liquid, they know, playing very cautious how they stick to the base. Only at the moment, Boxy heading out. Oh. Nothing to say, wants the kill. He's going to have to chase pretty far for it. Needs to consider backing off now, especially the fact that Y's been caught to the side. They're in with the jump, they burst through, and that's the axe gone. Boxy seeing if he can set up for more. Was the Pierce the Veil and the BKB used by Shiro. Nisha's reaching in to see if he can get a catch on and nothing to say. He's in with the Astral Step, puts the BKB. They get the Fierce set up on a Shiro. Silence as well to follow things up. Put the Refresher. Second round of the BKB, good to go. We'll keep it safe for now. Nothing to say. Gets the angle. They get the setup on a Saberlight. Now with the Pierce the Veil, they're bringing in the damage. Saberlight gets the blade bell off, though. Shiro's got to be careful.
Shiro.
Defensive disruption comes into play, but Shiro's so low. Saberlight's in with a Who Stop. They've killed Shiro off. as Liquid, they're going to definitely look to force more here as they'll look to Bark. Bark's got nowhere to run. The fight, it's going to be Liquid's 2 massive kills. Shiro and Bark dead.
And that's against a double refresher usage also from both Shiro and Nothing to Say. Oh, Liquid. They're winning the crucial fights again.
They are. Tidebound running into the same difficulties that they have so far twice this series and both of the other ones at this portion of a game. So hard to try and close it up against Liquid.
Tidebound, they need clear initiations to their fights. Like Mickey and Nisha are they're just going ham in these fights. Nisha has a full dataless nullifier combo.
Yeah, he's cruising. He's
hurting.
ready to dream big. He's got Silver Edges, Divine Rapiers queued up. He's ready for the big stuff, Nisha. See how much Liquid can get done. Of course, despite all that lead that Tidebound's had for the majority of the game, Tidebound just never were able to quite take a racks away from Liquid. Liquid now ready to pressure Tidebound's zone. That's the middle racks. It's gone. Swing round to the bottom as well. They get another tier 3. Bark not up for 30 seconds. Shiro up in just under 10. Fortifications there. We'll see how much they respect sort of the respawn of Shiro if they don't care because Bark's still out. How safe do Liquid need to play it? They'll play it safe.
Well, they know the Roche timer. It's not very long. 30 seconds for the spawn. If they're set up quickly, they could look to take it.
Now it's going to be so quick. I mean, they're smoking up type, and they have to run straight over.
Oh, yeah.
Are scanning. Dire are scanning.
Well, Liquid have by far the buyback advantage here. Especially with the outpost on their side. Ooh, good dead shot.
Smoke as well up from Liquid. Both teams knowing how hungry each other is for this team fight. Nothing to say, he's going to show them. Think of the catch there with the who stop. The damage coming in from Mickey, he's gone. Has the buyback available and he's going to use it. Liquid, they'll pull back a little bit as they reassess the situation. But they'll still be more than happy to fight. And eyes on Sableye, but again, Y doesn't want to make the jump on him. And Sableye's actually going to get the jump on a Y. There's the follow-up here from the Void Spirit.
That's double BKB.
They baited out the BKBs. And the Pierce the Veil. They're dragging back in Sableye, but he's so tanky, and this time he's able to survive through the damage that was coming out with the Pierce the Veil. Nothing to say. Finds his way to the backlines. He's in with the Rolling Thunder, ready to roll out the Static Storm as well. Continues with this angle, controlling both two of them. There's the call on Tanisha. The damage this time comes in. A big crit from Shiro, but Sableye's back in once again. They have to use the defensive disruption to try and protect Shiro. Shiro's in trouble. He's looking towards Sableye, but Nisha's closing the gap onto him. The nullifier down on Shiro. Shiro, he's got to try and get out of here. Why? He's in with the call. Holds back Nisha. Nisha, he'll survive, and that's Shiro gone. Buyback from Shiro. Mickey, he'll die. Also with the buyback. They're not holding back here, Liquid. God. They want to put everything into this fight. Same to be set with Tidebound with the mass buybacks coming in. Only Sableye dead right now, but he still has his buyback available as well. That's sort of what the 3 buybacks coming in there from Liquid, 2 buybacks coming in from Tidebound.
Yeah, good pause. My brain and heart need that one. Okay, so you have Nisha, Shiro, Mickey, Bark. That's 5 buybacks with Toby as well.
I mean, yeah, the big ones that stand out here is Shiro and Mickey. Ooh, both of the big carries using their buybacks. A death on either of those will likely mean the end of the game.
I'm still gonna give it a slight win for Liquid. That's 2 refreshers that are full cooldown for Tidebound.
And they are very reliant on, we saw, you know, with sort of the second round there from Shiro, he's able to get the job done. But the first one, they're able to kind of kite out. They need both.
Mickey might just buy his own refresher to get the BKB out. Here, we'll see it again.
So at the start here, you know, Sableye making some good moves. And at this point with his farm, you know, it's not easy for Shiro to kill this center anymore. Now BKB's up, helping him a lot against the damage output that Tidebound are trying to throw down on him. just takes a bit too long to get those kills. And even when they do, Liquid were very quick to come in with those buybacks.
Oh, some crazy fights in these games.
Let's see back in action. Liquid into the Roche pit. The smoke's coming out from Tidebound.
Oh, Boxy's positioning.
Can they get here in time? Boxy trying to block it up, but he gets caught by the dead shot. Boxy will die, but he makes the space. Mickey has the Aegis. See if they can chase on for more at Tidebound. Saberlight now going to come in with the buyback. The bash catches on to Mickey, but he has the Aegis on him. Even if he's threatened the ones. Nisha is caught. Nisha's in trouble with the cheese. Back up to full HP. Nisha able to jump out with it to simulate. Shiro's got to be careful. He's so low. Tidebound, they've got to bail out of this one. Bark's dead for good. Out for 2 minutes. They got to run Tidebound.
Oh my god.
Shiro.
Nisha?
He's going to find him on the way back to base. Shiro's... If he goes down, he's out for good as well. Nisha finds Shiro.
Did they just do it?
Taking the walk back to base. I guess, what was it, TP on cooldown? He just didn't sort of find a position to TP out in. I mean, with the two of them dead, I think that's game over, Kezu.
I think it is. Aegis at the ready. Refresher shard on Nisha also. Nisha survived with 1 hit to then get the cheese off.
Yeah.
With buyback on cooldown.
Yeah, if he didn't get the cheese off there, this could be a bit of a different situation, but the cheese was there. And now, looking to close this game up. 3 versus 5. Can Tidebound do anything to stop them?
I mean, nothing to say has to come up. Giga Ultra Monster Clutch.
It's got to be, you know, he's got to roll on every single bash positively, really, to just sort of slow down the siege damage. Planet's going to try and reach him with a disruption. Be able to back up with the BKB. Nothing to say. Doing what he can here to try and buy whatever time for the other 2 cores to get back up, but the jump's there over towards Y. Nothing to say, has to back onto the fountain. The Ancient's exposed. They'll get the glimpse onto Nothing to say. He's gone, no buyback for him. GG is called. Liquid take game 3, and with that, the series 2-1.
Wow, what a series. Yeah, Liquid very deservingly moving on, because my god, they put up a show in all 3 of these games.
Yeah, despite Tidebound's best efforts, all 3 times, right, Tidebound, they get kind of this mid-game lead, but they can't quite close it up.